Show me. Oh, there we go. Oh. Bowl smoke time. And all that shenanigans. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. Much better. Man. Ugh. Fuck. Work. Yeah. Especially with, like, all this fucking deep clean shit. I cannot wait for it all to be over with that. Just all this, like, bullshit that we have to deal with and all this, like, clean stuff. And then, of course, I don't really get scheduled with someone that's, is able to stay till, like, 10 with me or some shit. So I basically just end up doing everything, on my own for the most part. It's just like, God fucking damn, dude. I mean, it's just one of those things where it just really gets annoying. Because outside of, like, the meat counter of our department, I pretty much close the entire fucking thing myself, and it just gets so annoying. Really took it the fuck out of me today. Ugh. It's like, why can't the motherfuckers just not do that? Or at least like, complete, their, like, specific tasks they need to deal with. At least the little doggo can make me feel better. Just even staring at him. Because he's just a little goof. Sweet little baby goof. Ugh. Because I know there's like a couple things on too we could look at and all that shit. Because I'd rather not bitch about work right now. Especially with it pretty much being the same usual nonsense and bullshit. So, not much of a reason to be going off about it. Fuck, I'm like really out of it because of today. Like, Jesus. Ugh. Why can't people just do their tests, like, be, and complete it and shit? And of course, Sis, the store director, was fucking working today, and of course, he walks by and shit, says what's up, and, like, and of course, like, as he's walking by and walking up, shocker, looking right at me, be like, does he got something in his ear or something? Like, it's just like, dude, holy shit. He came by and said what's up, and I was like, worn out, tired. End up being, staying a little late last night. He's like, oh, well, hopefully you'll wake up a little better and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, just chug along. But it's just like, dude, like, I don't want to be like, harangued, or at least, or not even harangued, but I don't want to have to deal with you, honestly. It's like, and every time his ass like shows up, he's always like at least coming by to me and being like, what's up? And it's just, it's annoying. Especially when it's like, a lot of it's mostly just seeing if I'm fucking up or something. Or, not taking, their shit seriously or whatever the fuck. That shit's just annoying to me, and really, it's just aggravating. Especially of how they guilt trip you with it, too. Being like, oh, well, look, it takes time out of my day, and blah, 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 and we don't want to take time out of your day, kind of thing. And it's just like, oh, so make it my fault because you're purposely making it a part of your day now. When you don't have to. It's like, aye, dude. Here we go. Fucking really? There we go. Stay. Jeez. At least feeling a lot more decompressing from bullshit day. Now if only I can relax a little more with at least some other shit. Maybe like silliness, if there is any like silly absurdities or whatever. I imagine probably not too much. I mean, it's Sunday after all. Usually there ain't really shit. Which is annoying, but, whatever. What are you gonna do? Man, it really ain't. That ain't shit for shit. Boo. Man, there really ain't much. What the fuck? Fuck these. Fuck Sundays. For the lack of anything that goes on. It's like, good lord. Good lord, yeah. Straight up like fucking nothing. Ay. Ugh. Why must the Sundays have, like, fucking nothing at all? Very little going down. With all of it being dead in the ground. It seems like pretty much like the only shit that is, popping up on my fucking feeds is literally just bullshit of like, hey, this drama and stuff that you tapped into like a week ago or something. It's just like, oh my fucking god, I don't care. It's like YouTube, I don't give a shit. Like random drama or fucking like, shit like that, because because it's recommended me random people that might as well just be like cloud chasers for like these other different content creators, and it keeps like propping that up to me. It's like, bleh. It's like, good lord, it ain't exactly something that I'm really like enthusiastically going to be clicking. It's like, yeah, let me watch a dude react to a dude that reacts to a dude. Let's get really Inception about it. Congo, you sleepy bones. That sleepy little bones over there. Aww. Little thing's just curled up in a cute little ball. It's just so adorable. Doggo truly is ridiculous. I wonder how it was for like the first man to basically just go to a wolf and a K9 and be like, you know what, you're my friend now. And you just know that guy was a badass motherfucker and just like the fucking Chad of the tribe, dude. Just like, look what I brought back. Just brings back like a few wolf pups that are just like loyal to his side because, you fed him like some mammoth steak or some shit. Thus starting, the beginnings of man and, K9 being symbiotic. It's like, bro, that guy was, like a wild but crazy motherfucker that, the tribe didn't fuck with. Because, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like the leader's like, it's like, I use up the leader of this tribe now, or I have wolves. The leader's like, oh shit. I gotta learn how to tame him. The thing is honestly pretty wild, like how a lot of these different animals have like kind of been symbiotic, over time and shit with with people, especially like cats, dogs, different livestock and shit. Like, cause it makes me wonder, it's like, how did like the first motherfucker just like figure that out? Be like, yo, these cows, this cattle and shit, we could just have them chill, dude. They could just chill and just have them sit out there as long as we fence them in a little bit so they don't run off. And just let them chill, bro. And we can fucking, like, milk it. Literally, too. Milk it, get some cheese up in that bit. Fucking, got, meats, pretty consistently. It's just like, shit, dude. That'd definitely be something that, like, it'd be something that, the first motherfucker had to figure it out somehow. Like, did they take, like, a calf and just, like, kept it as a baby? Like, I mean, I'd figure that's how it would work, so I take him as a baby, and then raise the animal, like, it's to the point where it's chill with you. But that isn't necessarily the, case for all of them, because cats, didn't really, like, get domesticated. They just ended up just kind of chilling with us. Because, we didn't like, these different pests and rodents that normally would fuck up with, like, our livestock and certain food stores and shit like that. So obviously, we're all like, bruh. But these cats would show up, meaning like there's a lot of food, free food for us, which would be those rats and mice. So, eventually humans are just like, I think those cats over here are actually cool. And would actually let them stick around. And pretty much eventually the cats are like, you're giving us a free buffet. And, started getting all lovey-dovey with people. Like for cats, like I'm pretty sure they've always have like maintained the same consistent like mindset. I don't think they really are capable of being domesticated. They just, well, I mean, they are, but more in a sense of just like, I just choose to be, chill because I recognize, my place here, and it's actually nice. I'm a king. My ancestors were worshipped as gods, so I shall be one and act like such. Like the Egyptians figured it out, to the point they just straight did worship as gods. So can't really argue against that. Well, at least, feeling a lot more chill with that. But let's see. Is there like any little thing happening for the interwebs today? Anything? Anything on the tubes at all? Without the names on guess I could play like catch up with some other stuff, but you know what? I'm not even ready for it right now. I just gotta realize there are like some things that I could like be like, kind of dibble dabble into, but I think I'll at least wait a minute first, just because like if I dibble dabbled in that right now, my mind would just immediately be like, yeah, fuck this, just like immediately just get all like riled up about it. And I really want to deal with that. At least I did find little things we could do here, but just finish first. There we go. Cool. But at least, I did find a little something we can only look at. Oh, shit. I got fuck. Now I need to find first again, because it's been stupid. There we go. Okay. Anyway, but I was actually mentioning during my lunch break that I wanted to try to find like this brutal ad that just like goes hard as fuck. And well, funny like how Kyle's saying it reacts to new Kamala's new ad, but from what I understand, I'm pretty sure like this ad isn't hers or anything. I'm pretty sure this is like something that some other pack put out. I'm pretty sure. But I guess it's just being kind of called hers, even though it's not hers. But alright, Kyle.
Pack called Won't Pack Down. And they released this.
Won't pack down? Oh my god. I get it's supposed to be a play on word to won't back down, but oh my fucking god, that's just lame. What's with these fucking, like, packs or whatever the fuck that do this weird ass shit? Like, what the fuck? I got some more show. But, like, what's with these random ass, like, groups and shit that, like, do these weird fucking packs that just have, like, the most shitty names? And it's just, like, weird liberal cringe fest shit. Like, what was it? Like, the Lincoln Project or some shit, or whatever the fuck. Like, the Clinton Foundation, and I'll back down. It's like, good lord, dude. It's like, can we rub the lib? Can we like lib it up more? It's like the lib monstery is absurd.
The other day, and guys, It is brutal. Look, I have to say, the tone shift and the vibe shift since Biden has been gone has been astounding. Because with Biden, look, he's an old school politician, you know.
Doc and Husky MC. Is that the religious sect of our group now? Of our peoples? Because we have the political arm, the Huskivites. So now we have, the Huskifarians. Okay. Lazy ass Sunday. It really is, dude. And, I mean, not at work, though. Like, I was just drained to shit, for work. But fuck, bro. Ugh. More or less mildly kind of annoyed that, like, the other dude, like, only basically stayed until 9 and then just dipped without really, like, pulling anything else and all sorts of shit. It's whatever. I don't want to, like, bitch about it forever, but it's just, like, it's pretty much, like, usual bullshit there. It's like, I don't, like, hate the kid, but fuck, dude. Wish he at least either work a little faster or just not, like, just leave once it's, like, the clock at the end of a shift or whatever. It's like, bruh. If I did that, that place would look like a nightmare. So it's like, I mean, why, for anyone who closes, like, whatever. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to bitch about it.
He was there through the entire neoliberal era and Bill Clinton. I mean, he was there before that, but under the neoliberal shift, he sort of went along with that philosophy. Namely, look, we're all about bipartisanship.
Okay, yeah, I might love it, Kyle, but come on. Just get to the shit. Oh my god, a minute in, dude.
Again, I can't say enough positive stuff about this. This is probably the most brutal political ad I've ever seen.
Oh, and I guess, you're not going to full screen it too, aren't you, Kyle?
I'll smack a Republic.
Of course you're not. Of course you're fucking not, you son of a bitch. Kyle, can you please full screen your videos? You never do this. What's about to happen with this, though?
I'll smack a Republicans banned abortion, but that's just the start.
That's just the start.
If Trump gets elected, we want the government involved in all aspects of your sex life.
Way more involved.
Way more involved.
When you have sexual intercourse, it should be...
Was that previous guy meant to be like a play on to Jordan Peterson?
legal to use contraception. No pills, no condoms.
Your genitals are reserved for procreation.
That guy is definitely meant to be a Jordan Peterson. This guy's meant to be a fucking, like, dude, the absurd, like, vest suit combo that they had this guy wear, immediately thought, this guy meant to look like Jordan Peterson. That right there confirmed it. Like, yep. This is meant to be like the archetype of the Jordan Petersonites.
Freeze 12 eggs, you should be required to have 12 babies, or else...
Or else you're a serial killer! Oh, you have frozen 12 eggs for IVF and stuff? Well, now you must have 12 babies or you will be locked up for life and be treated like Jeffrey Dahmer. Jordan Peterson, Dennis Prager love affair. Nah, this guy kind of feels like he'd be a Dennis Prager love affair freak. Just more younger and just obviously a lot more of a weird, freaky, pudgy neckbeard.
You're a serial killer, and I'm definitely not a serial killer.
I'm definitely not a serial killer.
You?
My son monitors my porn usage to make sure I'm not self-pleasuring.
Just like Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. That's true, you can look it up.
Don't you think that's normal?
Yeah, I do.
It's normal for your son to do that.
You should have a family member monitor your porn use, too.
Because pleasuring yourself is very, very naughty.
I'm voting in November.
Oh my god.
I'm voting in November. We're all voting in November. Are you?
Because what happens in your bedroom is up to me.
It's up to me and my son. Also,
And my son
is a sin.
Oh, bro.
Damn. I mean, it's on one hand it's libby as fuck, but on the other hand it's like, damn though. At least they're being a little blunt about it now. It's like, yeah, we're very weird and creepy perverted fucks. It's just like, yeah, that is pretty much Republicans in a nutshell. We're them punk ass bitches and they're fucking, bigoted, insecure little fucks that like to be weird creeps that are just like, we need to make sure that, people are muds in you. Like, what the fuck, dude? I love their creepy little, like, just like their weird disturbed smiles. It's like, oh god, dude.
Brutal, bro. This is brutal. Oh my god. Hey, by the way, You know how Trump keeps trying to distance himself from Project 2025, even though he can't, because all the people who wrote it were in his administration, and he praised the Heritage Foundation, and he said they're the roadmap for policy, etc. But the reason he's trying to distance himself from Project 2025 is because Project 2025 is an amalgamation of all the right-wing ideas. It's their biggest wish list. And all the economic stuff is the stuff you would expect. Cut taxes for the rich, cut taxes for corporations, deregulate big business, etc.
But that's like literally what most of it is. Like honestly, like DFF did I mean, it was a Patreon episode, which I kind of wish it wasn't. But I mean, and the main reason why, because I think it's honestly informative, because they do break down a lot of like the big kind of like the top like kind of big 5 to 10 like things about it, and or at least the big like fears over it, and like and just straight up this idea about like full on like banning porn or like full on straight flat out abortion ban, period, no matter what, those aren't written in there. Now, a lot of different people that are a part, and endorse Project 2025 have said shit like this, but the actual thing itself doesn't. Like, it actually has outlined that it's like about states' rights, bullshit, whatever the fuck. So it's literally just stereotypical conservative bullshit at how they weave this, idea that like, oh, we're not authoritarians and want to do all this shit, sir. We just want to leave it to the states. So they always do it, so that, like, honestly, like, the more I learn about it, like, the more I just realize this is just basically Republican shit 101. They just made it, like, into a whole different, like, document, basically, which they do this a lot. Like, there was some, like, what was his fucking name? Like, during the Bush era, like, there was, like, another one that was similar to this. Like, who was the fucking guy that tried to push it? Was it, who the fuck was it? Honestly, there's like a few different, people, because I know like Reagan had one. I know, I know for sure W did, but I don't know about Bush Sr. If he did or not. I know Romney did. And fucking Nixon, not Nixon, fucking, I don't know, Nixon. Well, maybe he did, but at least for, what's his, McCain, like I know he did. I don't know why it blanked. I don't know why my brain's like, Nixon. John Nixon. It's like, I don't know why my brain kept going to Nixon, but yeah, it's like, I mean, he had one with Sarah Palin and shit when it came to this, like, and after the split, like the Tea Party also had one. So these aren't like, like new things. I mean, it just has like a new little like, buzzword term for it because like they want to try to enact all these things in the year 2025. So it's a lot of it isn't really new. And frankly, a lot of it's just the same old Republican shit that they all love. Tax cuts for the rich, minimal taxes and limited government, at least federally, unless it has something to do with like expanded military shit and all that. Yeah, I'm on board. It's pretty much what they're all about. So really, there really isn't much like, extra shit that, has to be like, oh fuck, about. I mean, it's still like an oh fuck thing because it's Republican doctrine, but still, it's like, this idea that it has all this extra nefarious shit in it, it like different people have been a part of it or endorse it, says shit like this, but it's not like an across the board thing.
But they marry that together with Christian nationalism and ultra conservative fundamentalism. So on social issues, they're as regressive as humanly possible, right? They're super socially conservative. And so as part of it, they had the thing about banning IVF, banning abortion completely, outright banning porn, by the way.
That's not actually completely in there. Like, there's been a mention about restricting or maybe regulating these things that are in there, but it doesn't say outright full fucking ban. I mean, there is a little bit of, like a, not to nuance bro it, but it's just like, I mean, there is a little bit of nuance to this.
J.D. Vance in 2021 to a Catholic magazine said, I want to outright ban porn. So you have all those things, right? And the stuff Trump doesn't like about Project 2025, it's got nothing to do with the economic stuff. He agrees with all that shit. He doesn't like the stuff on gays. He doesn't like the stuff on abortion. He doesn't like this sort of shit. And so that's why he's trying to distance himself from it. But dude, you can't. J.D. Vance wrote the forward to the book for the guy who was the leader of Project 2025. Like I said, your administration is packed full of Project 2025 people. You can't get that stench off of you. He's trying desperately. He can't get that stench off of him. Why? Because this is their world, bro.
I mean, it is. If anything, I think Trump's trying to do his own thing, which actually sounds more freakish and scarier, and also just straight up is actually worse. Agenda 47. Agenda 47, folks. That's something that he's been wanting to push. And, it's at least another way to try to distance himself. It's like, oh, I'm not part of that Project 2025 thing. It doesn't have everything that I, totally, completely agree, because it doesn't totally endorse me. That's why I'm doing Agenda 47, folks. Very tremendous. Agenda 47. Which also sounds a little bit more freakish. It's like, execute Agenda 47. It's like, oh shit. Like, that sounds a little bit more freaky than just like, oh yeah, Project 2025. Welcome to my university project.
Back the clock on all this stuff. You saw the polls. There was a brief period where a majority of Republicans were in favor of gay marriage. Now, a majority of Republicans are back to being against gay marriage. The trans stuff. They are insane on trans issues. Many of them don't even think being trans is a real thing. They think it's a social contagion and people are by peer pressure. So they want to control all these things about you. They don't want to allow anybody to get an abortion for any reason whatsoever. They want to allow anybody to access trans healthcare. They want to outright ban pornography. They want to ban IVF. You know, one of them brought up that mouth stuff is wrong or whatever. I remember there was a Ted Cruz. Remember this? Mother Jones reported on this years ago that Ted Cruz supported an old
picture of Trump loses and then just turns to order 25. A sack open order at McDonald's. That'll be kind of funny. I'd like to get the order 47 at McDonald's, please. It's the presidential. It's the presidential select. I come here all the time. They know me.
And like using dildos, right? Like, what are we talking about here, bro? So this is the exact reason why Tim Walt's attack, and he just said this at
Trump slithering up to the McDonald's drive-thru. Execute order 25. Execute order 25. It's the presidential special.
He was just like shooting from the hip, just a nothing comment. He's like,
the rightful president, me.
Look, man, these guys are just weird.
The presidential order, dude. Yeah, it's a presidential select, dude.
And the reason why that landed, is because they're fucking weird. They're weird. They scream about small government when it comes to regulating big business. They want to let corporations do whatever they want. But they want to ban pornography. They want you to submit your fucking driver's license to jack off so the government can keep...
Which is so fucking ridiculous. I mean, it really just shows the true nature about a lot of Republicans and conservatives where they are just fucking weird freaks, man. Like, straight up. Like, I mean, they're the first ones that, will fucking freak out and even be like weird little whispers too. Be like, is that person a fucking train right there? Oh my god, what a fucking weirdo for them. Like, they'll be the first ones to do shit like that all the fucking time. But, as soon as it comes to dealing with the morning wood or maybe squeaking one out before bed, guess what? The first fucking shit they're looking up, it's going to be that. It's going to be looking up at, like, trans incest pegging or whatever the fuck, It's like, it's going to be freaky deaky shit. Because they are weird fucks, and they want the government, spawn because they, hate, they have, like, some weird, like, almost, like, pseudo, like, voyeur-esque kind of, like, thing and shit. Where it's, like, they want to be watched and seen, but they, want to seem like they're alone, and, it's, like, this naughty thing that, the government or God or something is just watching over them. And they know that, somebody knows out there that they're doing some wrong shit. And if I'm, being subdued, then everybody else is by these temptations. So thus, we need to have everybody being watched just to make sure that nobody does kind of shit. If I can't, then no one can kind of thing. It's fucking weird. Like, they're legit just straight fucking freaks. And, honestly, who would have thought that, yeah, just call them weird little freaks would actually work. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I could have told you that because I've been saying that for a while. But, I mean, like, leave it to, like, all this time for them to kind of finally figure that fucking shit out a little. Comes with a little toy at the presidential limo in the Happy Meal. A presidential limo.
Everything that you're into. This shit works, bro. Their biggest weaknesses are abortion, now other social issues, and being extremist election deniers. And this shows, oh, we're going to put that front and center, bro. We're going to rub your fucking face in it. We're going to rub your face in it. You guys are not normal. You guys are deeply, deeply authoritarian. So I don't want to hear another fucking word
And
about
fucking broken in the head.
freedom from these people ever again. This is also the same group of people. Trump was just saying burning the flag should be punishable by a year in jail. Well, that's deeply unconstitutional. That's against the First Amendment.
And also Trump's mentioned me like, hey, for you Christians and for you white nationalist Christian folks and stuff, let me just tell you, if you let me win, you don't have to worry about voting ever again. Ever again, you will never have to worry about it. Which I guess could really be implied into two ways. One, he basically wants to try to do dictator shit, which realistically probably, what is being implied. Or two, the idea that like, oh, well, if you elect me, we'll be slam dunk and, as Republicans for so long that y'all wouldn't have to worry about having to rush out to the polls because, the Dems might just squeak one out or something. It's like we'll be able to show the country that we're all actually fucking great. And we'll be able to just, kick back and relax every election cycle, folks, because nobody will be able to understand the reality of our truth. Or whatever who fucking knows, It's like, it would just be straight up shit like that. And honestly, I guess it could be true in either way, but honestly, it's just like, who gives a shit? It's like, what fucking weird, insane thing to say. It's like, why would you just, openly say that? It's like, oh, yeah, you don't got to worry about voting anymore. Wink. It's like, what? It's like, okay, then. Even if it is implied where it's just like, oh, well, that's because our party will just be winning over and over again. It's like, that isn't exactly something you want to just, kind of blurt out because of just of the no-shit authoritarian tendencies around that. It's like, good lord, dude.
So he hates the Constitution even though he pretends like he loves it. He's the guy who said terminate the Constitution so that he could get back in office. Man. Brutal ad, man. Run that shit everywhere, bro. I don't know. I can't tell you the last time I've seen Democrats fight like this. I haven't seen Democrats fight like this maybe ever. Maybe ever. There was a brief moment in Obama's 2012 campaign where he was fighting kind of aggressively. But he didn't do it in 2008, even though he won. Bill Clinton never did it. He was a triangulator.
Yeah, if anything, doing this kind of shit back in Bill Clinton's era would actually be seen as radical. Because the whole triangulation is being like, oh, we're above the fray, all right. I guess, honestly, it's taken, 8 years of having to deal with Trump's stupid fucking ass. At least, for the last 4, not as much, but still having to. For, I think, Dems to be like, you know what, fuck this. And just, are starting to at least somewhat lose the civility. Which, you know what, I'm actually kind of glad for. It's like, these, this weird moralistic civility grandstanding bullshit libs would do all the time was so fucking annoying. It was so ridiculous. So to actually see them to kind of go low a little bit, even though they're still kind of lipping it up, you know what, I at least appreciate that they know how to at least throw a punch, I guess. It's like, oh, a liberal with an attitude. Wow. And actually, the attitude's got a little spice? Okay, well, what the fuck? That's a first in a long time. Shit. So I can't really complain about too much, but still, it's like, it took you this long. You should have been doing that from the get-go, you fucking idiots, but alright, whatever. It's like, good job, libs. You finally caught up. You finally caught up and know how to be an asshole sometimes. Cool. Still doing it in a weird, cringy, liberal way a little bit, I will admit, but you know what? Hey, at least it works. I even find it funny, so.
Biden definitely didn't do it. Shit, LBJ, FDR, I obviously wasn't alive for that, but that's probably the last time you saw Democrats fight like this. This is vicious. And I mean that in a good way. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe.
We need more of that. We need more of that viciousness. Every time, any of these, Democrats, lose some of that civility lib bullshit, and start kind of throwing a punch a little bit and start getting aggressive, I legit kind of go, oh. Because, for example, I don't really like AOC that much anymore. She's pretty much been like neutered for the most part in like the Democrat Party. But not that long ago when she was having a spat with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she was going like, "Girl, baby girl," it's like, "Do not come at me. I do not play that way." Kind of shit. Like she was throwing that fucking like, New York Latina spice up and on that ass. It's like, oh fuck, oh shit, AOC could be a bad bitch. Whoa, holy shit, that's a thing. She could do that. Oh, I was just like, ooh. It's like, oh shit. Man, where the fuck has that AOC been all this time? That's what I'm thinking. So I want more of that shit. I want more of that viciousness. JD Vance wanted, talk about crazy childish cat ladies? Well, bring them out. Rah. Bring them the fuck out, Let's bring it on, motherfucker. Man, I should get something out of my vape pen. Had a whole bunch of flaming Cheetos and a half Kool-Aid peach mango pie. Wow, nice. Fucking amazing. I'll see Discord thing. I think. Maybe. Actually, I'm not too sure. I get that go double check really quick. I just have to find the telegram. There is no telegram. Shit. Well, not telegram. Fuck a disco. A disco. Disco. Disco, come here. I'm clicking the folder that has my disco. It won't. There we go. Vape Pen Saga from Europe. The Vape Pen Saga from Europe. I did not see this. Roscoe was hella pissed about the low quality vapes in Europe because it ain't that good Americana shit. I mean, honestly, it's like I do want to try some of that, Euro Kush that they got going on up there, but I'm just gonna be honest. It ain't gonna be like we're spoiled up here, okay? So I don't want high expectations. I do want to try it, but I ain't having high expectations. Mel Innocent makes me think that people will change their minds if I present correct arguments with the appropriate facts and data. That's true. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Oh, it's not in the actual app. It's... okay, whatever. God damn it. Boo! Oh, Rip, did I tell you that I also had an IP argument, weirdly enough, like, at the bar not that long ago? It wasn't with me and somebody else. Well, it started that way, but then his buddy came out of nowhere being like, why do we give a fuck about, like, what Israel's doing? But like, pretty much being, based about it, frankly. I'm just gonna be blunt. And because he saw me talk with him, he's like, hey, why are you giving him, like, this, like, onus about this stuff? Like, what, do you think it's okay? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, nope. I think it's horrible what's going on. So I just went down the whole thing, but then those two start popping off a little bit, and I'm sitting here in the middle like, oh, fuck. Just like, oh, God. Why don't you have all your icons out of the folder? That's what I do. One screen of only the essential apps. Well, because it's just, it's... I don't know, it's easier for me that way, I guess. I'm doing this right now. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, Lee Enfield, huh? Or just an Enfield. Nice. Nice. Let's see, what other things is happening there? Like, what the fuck is it? Apparently there's some Kyle I need to catch up on. What's this? Is witchcraft the most insane Republican running for office? Is that even possible? Kyle, it's the GOP for fuck's sake. Do you realize, like, how hard it is to, like, be the most insane of them all? I mean, it's just like, out of all the reindeer, who's the greatest of them all? It's just like, it ain't, in this pre-Rudolph, era. It's like, no one fucking knows, because they're all pretty much the goddamn same. Besides their names. So it's just like, I mean, we don't got the batshit insane Rudolph of them all kind of motherfucker here. Peak efficiency. Jesus Christ, dude. Are you trying to rub it in on my ass? Well, see, I like to look at my background, though, sometimes. See? I like my background, so sometimes I like to look at it. Well, it's gigantically oversized right now because of how it's set up with the split screen, but you get the point. I like looking at it sometimes. I mean, I don't know. And I have them positioned, usually when it's vertical, so I can actually look at it and things aren't in the way. But, you can still see mine, the Sunderman. Bitch, barely. I can barely see Sunderman back there because there's so much orange. Like, you got so much orange, I mean, you're basically competing for Trump's orangeness of how orange your fucking screen is with all that. You know what? Hold on, I gotta make this easier to look at. Motherfucker. Hold on, yeah, open a browser. Yeah, see what I mean? Look, well, I can see why, because it's all spooky icons and stuff. So I can see why it's all orange. But goddamn. Now I'm just gonna. Well, since now we have them, now you got me looking. Orange, you glad Trump may lose? Well, yeah, I see what you did there. I can also tell you're definitely a writer just on the virtue that you have Inkpad, file manager. Like, you got, things in Wattpad. Like, there's things here that I'm like, yeah, these are things an artist and a writer would have. Kroger. You have Kroger's out there? Shit. Hey, those are the motherfuckers that own us. Yay! So you buy shit from my company, technically, just it's Kroger instead of the Safeway or Fred Meyer or shit like that. Well, wait, isn't Kroger about to merge with Safeway? Actually, we haven't had that happen yet. Gotta use that Digital Plus card. Dude, if that shit happens, our store is probably going to be on the list that downsizes. And also, from what I've heard from the Scuttlebutt, likely, like, every store in Portland area is at least on the list of potential downsizing and shit. And that includes ours. So, yay. If merger happens, layoffs, mother. Your store is on the official list. Yeah, and that means that we could probably get laid off and or need to, reapply for our jobs. Or, I mean, depending on how shit works, I mean, maybe we won't have to, but, because if our store gets downsized, they're just going to replace it with something else. Like, so chances, who fucking knows really as it stands right now? Like, it really is kind of up in the air about what shit's going to happen with this right now. I also, like, and usually when it comes to a lot of these mergers, like, unions tend to be pretty vehemently against it, but for some reason our locals actually, like, supportive of it. So I don't fucking know why. But, it's one of those things where I kind of need to, like, look into the details over, but, since we're negotiating a new contract right now, obviously, at least from what I've read about that, they want, like, the new contract to at least have provisions that even if, like, stores do get hit and they switch over or whatever the fuck, that anyone that, works there doesn't lose their job kind of stuff. So there's, and then new owners next, would have to at least abide by, those same contracts and all that shit. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's up in the air right now. And and honestly, like, I mean, as it stands right now, like, I don't know if it's gonna at least, like, be settled yet when it comes to the whole merger and shit up until the contracts are negotiated. Because I think, the business side of things, are looking at that and thinking, well, we might, just wait on that just to see what plays off from that, and then just go from there. Because then they could probably weave in some weird bullshit or whatever the fuck, and do some weird sleazy shit, to fuck that up anyway. So it needs to be rejected. I mean, I agree with it. Yeah, absolutely. Fuck that merger. Like, because from my understand, I also keep hearing this, that, like, Piggly Wiggly is going to technically be the owner. And from what I understand, my guess is that, like, the way for that to probably be the case is that if essentially that Kroger either is owned by Piggly Wiggly or there's, like, some co-op ownership thing, between the two businesses or something. Like, there has to, or, Piggly Wiggly owns Kroger or whatever, so it's just a weird Ouroboros homunculus octopus corporate satanic fucking grab of money greedy evil shit. So yeah, I mean, it's all a bunch of fucking horrible fucking bullshit. Piggly Wiggly. It's a Midwest grocery store chain. It's also in Texas too. I've seen them around there when I've been in Dallas and shit. So yeah, it's like a southern / like Midwest chain. I don't know if they're in Georgia or not, but I mean, from my understanding, they're like, and I think seen a few of them in Montana once or twice. I know not in Bozeman for sure, but I think out in like Billings and out east and shit. Conveniently not unionized. I would take a guess and say, yeah, probably not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about it. I'm gonna do a little research on it though. Because I've been hearing a lot of this scuttlebutt about this, especially lately with the new contract negotiations and shit. So obviously there's a lot of like behind the scenes kind of like shit going on with it right now. So it's probably a good idea to maybe at least, do a little personal research on the side about it. I won't do it right now. So at least for now, I won't outside of just I don't want it to happen in the first place. Fuck that shit. Outside of that, I mean, there's not really much for me to kind of commentate on, at least as to why our local union for some reason is all right with it. Which honestly, if they're not unionized, then I don't know. My guess would be is that if I'm gonna try to think about it from maybe the higher ups in the locals perspective, because if there are stores that, now officially become part of, the region that these locals are in, that they can essentially just, expand those contracts to those kind of stores, I think the idea is that it makes it just kind of, that much easier to kind of unionize, because then it's they're already kind of, a part of that apparatus. You just have to kind of, officialize, those stores, by having to do the quick, unionized process, but since there's already, I guess the idea would there will already be kind of that logistical, leeway, I suppose. But even then, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do it now. And I think the main reason why is because they would have to pretty much set up a whole separate contract. So I guess the idea is that if they're pretty much, part of the bigger company, or that is, a part of, the contracts as they are, after the merger or some shit, or prior to it, then they become the ones that are part of those different companies, because obviously Safeway and Albertsons, etc., they're still going to technically be a thing. They're just going to be under the name of a different company, like how Freddy's, with Fred Meyer's, how it's still Fred Meyer's, but it's owned by Kroger. So it's one of those things where it's these different companies will have kind of combine in negotiations. So our contract at our store, or at least the last one until just recently expired. Not expired, but at least, now it's open for renegotiations and shit. It's also tied with contracts with Kroger too. So our contracts are relatively the same, outside of maybe slight little nuanced differences with, Freddy's specifically. The broad foundation is essentially the same, and that, in a way is actually useful, in a sense, because then it kind of helps, give at least a baseline, even kind of even Steven so thing for everybody in that field to at least have that minimal standard. I mean, it's a little out of my expertise, at least when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I'm not that knowledgeable about those type of things, but that would be at least my guess. At least my guess as to why they would probably be in supportive of it, because then they can make it easier to like enforce these kind of contracts and shit with the stores. And if anything, like file a suit and shit too. Because let's say the contracts go through, or these next ones, and the provision of like if they merge, with another company like Piggly Wiggly / Kroger, then they have to abide by those contracts no matter what. And if they don't, then that's a lawsuit right there that you actually can probably win on. So that's not really exactly a fight that they would want to pick. So that's why I feel like, at least the stance right now, it seems like it's kind of up in the air, because it seems like, one way or the other to kind of, they're going to kind of see who's, going to take like a strong shot first with this. Because honestly, if the merger happened like tonight or like the next day or whatever the fuck, it could throw a wrench in the whole like renegotiation of contracts and shit. Because at that point, then, it like now you're not just negotiating how you were initially, but now you got this whole big bad motherfucker that just came into the room out of nowhere. And it's like, I'm now actually in charge of these guys right here, so you're talking with me. And now he sits down and he's like, what's up, motherfucker, kind of thing. Piggly Wiggly's just a convenient scapegoat like Hagen's. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it seems like it. I mean, because, they seem to, like, because I hear them being like the main face, so to speak, of the shit, but when I like look at the details, at least from what I do know, it's mainly Kroger and shit. So I don't know if they just happen to be like an owner of Kroger or what. It's a really Midwest thing outside Wisconsin and parts of Southern Ohio. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've only seen them a few times, like, out in, like, Dallas and shit, because I know there's, like, I think a couple of them. And my family down south has talked about Piggly Wiggly before, so I know there's at least some down there. So I don't know exactly where they all are. I just kind of assumed they were, like, kind of, like, maybe central southern / like, Midwest thing, but I don't know. Like, I don't know much about that shit. I just know it's a thing. Piggly Wiggly just sounds like the name of a hillbilly pedophile, so just a hillbilly. Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, I want to avoid Uncle Piggly Wiggly over there now. He's gonna do them children. I'm like Pastor Ron. Pastor Ron keeps us safe. Pastor Ron tries to set him straight in the meantime. Those two hang out a lot. Pastor Ron tries to get to him, but yet just can't, unfortunately, break it. Speaking of which, children never really liked Pastor Ron anyway. I wonder why. It's kind of unfortunate, because he's such a good, honest, godly man. And I wonder why that shit tends to be a problem in itself. Got a gears are literally in a bulldog trashed out that doesn't even have running water in the entire city outside of his house. And he just also recently got a new Bentley. A Bentley. A Bentley. I not rich fancy kind of bumble jumbit. Like, maybe it's a Ferrari. Like one of those fancy mumbo jumbo Italian, kind of things. The only Italian thing I like is some of that fettuccine and then some of that spaghetti. It's good, but the thing is, we all know that's a good goddamn American food out there, brother. Man, it really ain't that hard to do like a hillbilly redneck thing. It really ain't. I just got the natural draw. Speaking of which, I still want to know about this psycho insane guy. We've just been having Kyle looking like he's just fucking busting hella nuts right now. He's having his dark side Phil moment and just like, got some ropes going on, bro. Like with that face. Like, just been having him just looking like he's in like, freeze frame of him just nutting. Like,
there's a guy running for the U.S. Senate in Virginia.
Why am I not surprised it's in Virginia?
Say his name, and I want you to promise not to laugh. Okay? Don't laugh. Don't.
Okay. All right. You know what? I think I need to prep myself in a way that actually makes it harder for me not to laugh. So we're going to load a freshie really quick here. And just spundunk in that bish. And then, we'll see if I bust a gut. I don't even know what this guy's name is yet. But I'm excited. Oh shit! You know what? Maybe Kyle's right. Maybe this guy is like the most insane fuck, dude. And if that is, damn you, Kyle, I'm stoned. Oh shit! Oh shit! All right. Okay, dude. We're all about to have a. Okay, we all need to enjoy this together. Take this moment to like load up and get stoned if you're not already. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need to get stony and laughy together in this one. Okay, I'm gonna my dude, my guy, manage my finances and see what I got tomorrow. Cause fucking Christ, like I need this backup thing. I like it because at least I have one. But holy fucking shit, dude, this is the tiniest fucking ridiculous little thing for a ball, and like half of it is always falling out of the fucking thing. I swear to God. And it's just. It's so like for its size, you would think it would just like you could just lift the thing, but no, it's got like a little carb back here. It's just like I love the little guy, but holy shit! I'm just gonna call it the bitchin' just at this point because it's like it's bitchin'. It came in clutch, and plus it won't break if I drop it accidentally. And but it's also bitching because man, I bitch about it. But you know what? It gets the job done, so that's all that matters. My pen solo, I had to take multiple hits, so normally I take 4 regular puffs and 2 small ones. Well, it's predominantly CBD, like I said. But hey, I mean, you got enough to where at least you're feeling something. We've got a restaurant in Seaside called Pigs and Pancake. Oh, I've been there before, dude. Dude, it's been fucking forever since I've been there, dude. But that place is so good. Yeah, I've only been there like a couple times, but the few times that me and my folks have been down there, whenever we're out of the coast and shit, dude, that place is so good. Oh, dude, I think don't they have 2 places? Because I remember there's like another place that is very similar to that. So I think they have 2. I think there's one right outside of Lincoln City as well. Like just right outside of downtown Lincoln City, I think they have one there too. No, the gummies are CBD. The cartridge I have is a genuine one. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, they're tasty. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, and I think Pig and Pancake has at least 2 locations, I'm pretty sure. Because I do know there's one in Seaside, but I'm 95% sure there's, like, one in Lincoln City. Because I distinctly remember, like, one of the last few times that we went out to the coast with me and my parents was, actually was the time that I smoked and got stoned with my parents, in a smoke stash. It was actually that beach weekend, but I think it was it was that weekend where we went to Pink and Pancake that was in Lincoln City. It's just like right out. It's literally just like right on the outskirts of town. I mean, maybe we drove out towards Seaside and we went to it because I think the one in Seaside is also just right outside. So maybe I'm just kind of misremembering a little bit. But I'm pretty sure there's at least 2 locations. Or maybe it's just another place that's got a similar name and it's just as fucking fire. But I know there's like a little, pancake diner spot that's like right outside Lake City that's also really good. Man, now I'm like questioning myself, goddamn. Man, it's just been way too long since I've been to the coast. It's been forever. And I'm itching so bad to go see the ocean right now. Yo, Rip, okay, we got to get the boys together and figure out a fucking beach trip, bro. We need to do it before the summer ends. The Pacific, it calls for me. The Pacific is calling. It's been calling, and I cannot ignore its call. There's a bunch. Oh, so there is a bunch of Pig and Pancakes. Astoria, Seaside, Camping, Lincoln City. So I was correct. Okay, all right. That helps. That actually helps confirm that not only there's 2, but multiple locations. All on the coast. Okay, so I was right. So there is a Pig and Pancake outside of Lincoln City. So the place I went to, okay. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I've at least been there like 3 or 4 times. I think all of them outside of like the one time I was in Seaside was all the one in Lincoln City, because I do remember going there a bunch of times, but mostly at the one in Lincoln City. But yeah, it's, dude, so good. I will admit, though, At least the one in Lincoln City is literally just where all the people that have lived in Lincoln City most of their lives that don't really like the tourists and shit, because obviously we're the tourists, quote unquote, that are, staying, there. So a lot of the old pudgy boomer types were kind of looking at me, giving us looks, mostly me. Like, what's this young boy doing here, huh? What's this young Lib here for? I'm just like, just having to be like, why are these old weirdos staring at me? Like, why is like the 2 or 3 like old boomers just chilling? Sal Mount's been calling to me for a hell long time now. Should we just combine the trips? Should we do like, dude, should we have like a one night camp out? Like we go to like, one day we go to the coast for a little bit, camp out near there, and on our way back, Saddle Mountain, dude. Bruh, what if we make like a little like, one night camp trip near the coast, spend a day on the coast, and then on our way back after we camp out there and shit, Saddle Mountain, dude. Super close to Cannon Beach. Bruh, what do you think, bruh? Tell me that don't sound like a fucking epic adventure right there, dude. Saddle Mountain works better on the way there. That works too. Honestly, either way, I don't give, like, both, either way works. But just that general plan, though. I don't know about camp out. My tent committed seppuku. I got one, and it fits 2 people. So, I mean, if you needed, like, at least, like, spare spot, then shit, at least there's one right there, so. But that'd be up to you if you want. I mean, because fuck, I won't even give a shit and, like, camp out if it's, like, clear night sky, actually kind of nice and temperate. I'd fucking, like, set up a hammock or some shit, bro. It is? I thought it was 50 miles east of Seaside. Oh, Saddle Mountain? I don't know. I've never been to Saddle Mountain, so I do want to go to Saddle Mountain, but I also want to go to the coast. That's why I kind of want to put 2 in 1, you know what I'm saying? Camped up there once. So we could do it. And I'm sure, like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I have a spare, well, technically it'd be my dad's, but I'm pretty sure there's a spare tent around here somewhere. I got my personal one. I could at least have 2 people in it. And then I also got, I think my dad has one too, but I don't know where that would be. I would either have to find it or convince him to just let me have it at least for the trip. But if it's you specifically that I'd be borrowing it, I think it'd be more chill about it. If it was like Harley or anyone else, he'd be like, he'd be kind of grumpy about it. What is with it lately with these little fuckers being vocal? Y'all were vocal fucking last night, and now you're being vocal today, dude. Are you just like happier than pig of shit just being like, oh, I'm a happy little thing? Squeaking off or something? Just like, shut the fuck up. You're really making me want to like let out a fucking buckshot on your ass. So now there will be multiples of you. There, and everywhere. Is it rational? No. Is it understandable? I fucking hope so, because this little fucker's honestly trying to drive me nuts. Somehow less violent than Passion of the Christ? Wait, what? By the way, we still need to know what this guy's name is, apparently, because it's going to make us laugh. So, we still need to know that. Get fucked, Mel Gibson. Deadpool Wolverine surpassed The Passion of the Christ to become the highest-grossing R-rated film in domestic box office. Wait, Passion of the Christ held a fucking... Dude, wait, what? Okay, that's actually new to me. Seriously? For 20 years? No way, dude. Oh my god, this country is so full of fucking weirdo Christians, bro, because, oh my god, every Easter this will play. Oh my god. Because, dude, Christians like my mom would be the ones that, would basically allow that to be a thing, dude. Deadpool's Marvel Jesus. The the fact that, like, fucking goddamn Ryan Reynolds pretty much is, like, Ryan Reynolds in everything that he plays, including Deadpool, sorry, hot take, don't care. But it's just like, god damn it. Low-key, I'm not a fan of Ryan Reynolds because he's just everywhere, and, but you know what? I'm gonna give him a pass. I will give him this pass. I mean, the fact that both these motherfuckers, you know, even were able to, like, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. That's actually, like, I will admit at this at least a little bit. Like, I kind of like that fit. I will admit. It's actually kind of a badass fit. But, man, I like Deadpool. I'm not look, okay, maybe I should clarify. I'm not even dissing on Deadpool. But, I mean, it's just like, I just wish they maybe had someone that wasn't Ryan Reynolds. I think that's just it. I just, you know, he's like all over the place. He was just Ken not that fucking long ago, for fuck's sake, and Barbie or whatever. Like, he's everywhere. Like, you know, I mean, Chris Hemsworth was like this for a minute too, for a while. It's like, it's like, can we not have, like, you know, like, just like white buff blonde dudes, you know, fucking, like, you know, run the show when it comes to, like, you know, these actors that every chick wants to get, like, moist over? What happened to, like, Jason Momoa, dude? Like, wasn't it, like, every woman and their mother getting wet over him, and now, like, it's like Ryan Reynolds now? It's like, give in to Reynolds. Give in to Reynolds. You can't escape it. I know I can't. And also, you know, I guess another thing is, and this is more of just a personal thing, this doesn't even have to do with, like, the franchise or genre or anything itself. I'm just kind of, like, over superhero stuff in general, too. I mean, because, like, I swear to God, like, half of my, like, upbringing when it came to film and cinema was superhero Marvel shit. And, like, look, it's not like to say that it's bad, this and that, or whatever. Like, you know, but I'm kind of over it, you know? I'm ready for new stuff. So, you know, that's why I'm not, like, as enthralled about it as much, you know, anymore. Because, like, it's just been, like, basically damn near 20 years of just constant, like, superheroes. Like, and then maybe, spy stuff, or maybe a war drama here and there, or kind of some other stuff here and there sometimes. You know, but it's, I don't know, it's like, I just kind of get weary of it after a while. Like, I'll check out, like, the third Spider-Verse, and then I'm just like, alright, I want, like, 5 years before I watch another superhero. Like, which I guess that means that it'll probably be 5 years before I see this. I mean, did that third Spider movie, you know, come out yet or not? Like, when the fuck is that coming out? That was supposed to come out at, like, before the, you know, WGA, and SAG-AFTRA strikes happened, but now I haven't heard anything from it since. Because I think all that shit's been settled now, so is it just still in postponed production or something, or is it just really heavily delayed? Because, like, I'm just waiting for that, so then I can be like, alright, I just need 5 years to just... I'll give it till, like, 2029. Because, like, geez, dude. Why are all... First one fucking exploded, and this one did too? Jeez, they're all gonna explode on me. Sorry, next one's gonna, like, straight up be like a pipe bomb. Just like... Good lord. And also, Deadpool doing that is just waiting in anticipation about what this guy's name is, because... I'm sure we all probably forgot, but you know what, just...
Senate in Virginia. I'm gonna say his name.
And don't laugh, okay? But let's see what it is. There. Let's do it.
And I want you to promise not to laugh. Okay? Don't laugh. Don't laugh. A guy running
I'm gonna laugh.
for U.S. Senate in the state of Virginia, whose name is Hung Cow.
Oh, I'm trying so hard. I tried so hard, got so far, but in the end, it's just another hun cow. Okay, that probably just broke it. What? Hung cow? His name is Hung Cow. Look, What the? Okay, I know. Look, I could like. I get like. There are some names out there that just unintentionally just sound a little funny, but bro. What the fuck, man? I failed instantly. I tried, and then fucking Linkin Park played in my head, and it was sealed. The fate was sealed from there. I don't even know how that, I don't even know how Linkin Park, got in my head, but it broke it for me. This doofus again. Okay, Rip, I'm catching up. I haven't seen, I've been kind of like taking a minor break from politics outside of like some stuff here and there. Like, just because it gets overwhelming sometimes. So I'm catching up, alright? I have not been enlightened by the Hun cow who's gonna tell us about witchcraft. Okay. You know what? Kyle looks disappointed in everybody in his audience, even though, it's not like live. Because, everyone laughed. You knew that everybody laughed. Every single person laughed, and that face is a disappointment knowing that everyone was laughing. Fucking uncow, bro!
So, some video clips of his popped up on my feed. I wanted to share them with you. And this guy may be one of the most out there, one of the weirdest of the Republicans running. And of course...
well, he's definitely got a name. I mean, and look, I'm just trying to think of it as a Republican. That sounds a little too Asian for me, boy. I think it might want to be these Chinese spies, I tell you what. Like, dude, I mean... I'm sorry, but with a name like that, these weird yokel white chuckle fuck boomers in fucking Virginia are gonna think, is that a child man spy or some shit? Like, I mean, are you good luck. They barely were able to take Vivek Ramaswamy being basically a fucking Nazi for them, and he's like, well, he's too Indian for me, shit. Like, they couldn't even accept his ass. So what makes you think that you're gonna, like, what, be just super insane? I guess so. I mean, fuck me, bro. Dude, Republicans are fucking nutty, man. They are nutty. Like, like, what the fuck?
It's a tough list to be on top of, isn't it? There's a lot of weirdos and freaks out there that are...
Yeah, you have dolphin fucker Vance McGee over here. Goddamn fucking Marjorie Attack on Titan Green. Lauren, I'm gonna fucking give a handy to my fucking Democrat boyfriend at Beetlejuice concert to start vaping nation everywhere. And fucking being a straight up like white trash harlot. And then fucking Matt Gaetz being a weird old PDF file. I mean, go down the list. You know what? Does anyone remember what's his fucking face? Louis Gohmert? Does anyone remember him? Remember when he used to be the most like dumb fuck of the dumb fucks of the GOP? He's looking pretty smart nowadays. And even then, he's a dumb fuck. Like, is he even still a thing? Is he honestly, because of all these other nut jobs, like, he pretty much is like, I used to be kind of the livestock of everything, and now no one's ever heard about my name. Actually, I'm kind of glad about it. I'm sure Louis is actually kind of chill about it. He's like, I'm glad no one's fucking talking about me right now. I used to look like a full retard amongst everybody. I made our party look fucking dumb. Now all these other people are doing it for me. Sweet.
Running as Republicans. So Right Wing Watch got this clip here.
Who the fuck is this guy right here? Who is this wannabe, fucking, like, tryout for, like, the Rush cover band project? Blush or some shit? Like, I mean, like, it's like, who the fuck is this wannabe reject of a dude right here, bro? Oh my god, his name is actually legit.
Listen to what he says was like an inspiration for him to run.
Tell me about Virginia. Tell me about your experience. What do you see God doing? And then let's get into, obviously, your amazing announcement. What are you pumped about?
Well, the
the last 3 statewide elections were won by Republicans, right? The governor, the lieutenant governor, and the attorney general, all Republicans.
And Winsome Sears is a gangster.
Yeah, she is, and she's a
love her.
great woman of God. I mean, honestly, she's always texting me.
What? Established 2022. What the fuck? Something MP. Ilah? What the fuck is this? What weird religious, like, Nazi cult shit is going on here? Like, what weird, like, Abrahamic fucking far-right weird shit is happening here, bro? What is... And this guy looks like he will, like, unironically Unit 731 you alive, like, in every way possible. What does that mean? I don't fucking know. Look up what they did. Any of that. And all of it at the same time. Any and all of that at once. Like, I mean, this motherfucker looked like he would, like, take the utmost pleasure, like, carving your insides out and just be like, oh, these are what the intestines look like. They wiggle and squirt. Fascinating. If this sounds racist, blame the weed. This feels like an evil Andrew Yang. You know, he does look a little like Andrew Yang. And you know what? I'm on to grant the pass. Because you know what? My Ed Boy impersonation of, like, you know, Ed Butatos and all whatever the fuck, apparently that sounds partially Indian to the point it's almost offensive. So, I don't know. You know what? We all gotta, you know, when you're in America, you gotta at least garnish the racism, apparently, no matter what, even if you're not intentionally doing it. Because the only reason why I'm not, like, even making that a joke is because I legit didn't even think about that at all. You were the one to point it out. I was like, what, really? Well, you know what? I guess it was. Oops. See, we're both racist. Well, yeah, you know. Maybe the racism we did was the friends we made along the way. You know? That's how you make a redemption arc. Eviler Yang? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I wouldn't even say Andrew Yang is, like, evil. He's just a corporate, just weird, centrist, capitalist weirdo. I mean, like, because, look, I will grant him a little bit of a pass for at least getting the whole, like, universal basic income idea out there. His concept of it was stupid, frankly. But just that mere concept in itself of $1,000 a month, like, dividend, you know, and, like, you know, UBI kind of thing. I mean, just the virtue of that being kind of like a topic and kind of propped up more in the mainstream surface of conversation of politics. I mean, I'll grant him that. I can at least grant him that. But he's still kind of a dipshit. Because he's just another venture capitalist type. He just happens to be one that isn't as evil as the rest of venture capitalist types. You know, so for me, it's like, whatever, you know? I mean, I can't really, like, hate him entirely, but he's just cringy, and he's just like a fucking venture capitalist nerd bro, and it's just kind of quirky and awkward. I mean, it's just not really, like, there's nothing for people to be like, oh, yes, he's awesome. Like, everyone got galvanized by the UBI thing, but once he started talking more about pretty much anything else, they're like, oh. Because I'll admit, like, at the very beginning when I first heard of him, because he pretty much, like, was just all in on that, at least for the first, like, couple months, I was like, hey, you know, I'll yang gang it, maybe. Yeah, fuck it. It'll be a backup idea. But once he started getting himself out there, and then other people started kind of questioning him about his other ideas and policies and shit, that enthusiasm, especially for me, kind of went, oh, all right, to, just like, and also he's just not charismatic at all. Like, it seems, kind of rote, but, and kind of like, and whatever, doesn't matter, but honestly, it does. Like, if someone's not charismatic and kind of, like, awkward in front of a camera or talking and shit, to an average, like, normie type, that's gonna be kind of a turnoff. Because, like, oh, well, they might, have the good ideas, but they can't even, like, eloquently, go forth with, another politician or a world leader. And how can I trust them, with my own dinner table plate issues? So... it's, I mean, that's why, Bernie was such a galvanizing force, right? Like, because not only did he talk the talk, but he walked it and had the charisma to fucking sell it, right? Like, so, that charisma does matter. Why do you think Trump's so popular? It's because of that charisma. And I guess, for the far right and the right wing in general in the Republican Party, also the ideas when it comes to their tabletop issues or whatever. But nonetheless, how it's sold is that charisma, because there's plenty of people that have tried to sell the same idea as Trump, but like diet, like Ron DeSantis. That guy was not only a void of charisma, he literally would like absorb it, in this weird anti-quasi charisma that was just not only a repellent of charisma, but it actually would like suck the charisma out of you. Like, he is such a weird amalgamation of anti-charisma, like, energy that it's radioactive. Like, he was fucking bad. And J.D. Vance, another one. Like, I mean, he's another guy that has got literally no charisma. Like, and if anything, a repellent of charisma. Like, he's anti-charisma in every way. I mean, it's like, because that shit matters, because if not, people gonna fuck on your ass, even if the ideas that they like and that you're saying are stuff they agree with. If, you don't got the charisma to sell it, they ain't gonna care, they're gonna fuck on you. As with DeSantis, as with Vance. I mean, if you don't got the riz, you ain't gonna sell it. Trump keeps making unforced errors. Got in another beef with Brian Kemp? Really? What an idiot.
And we pray back and forth, and she's amazing. And so, again, it's, we can't let it turn like this. There's a place in Monterey, California.
Honestly, this guy does look like Andrew Yang, but Andrew Yang looks pudgy. Like, look at Andrew Yang and this guy. Like, Andrew Yang has got, like, more pudge. He's got, like, more of that pudgy, like, dad bod. And this guy looks like he used to be a drill sergeant in the USMC, or some shit, bro. Like, he looked like he served in the Iraq War at one point or some shit. And it's in, like, one of these weird, like, fitness clubs, that he goes to with his, like, vet church buddies and, or some shit with his little gun club or something. Like, he looks like an Andrew Yang if he was, like, in the service and stayed fit or something. Because Andrew Yang's just kind of got that pudgy dad bod. So his face is, just straight up kind of, like, pudgy round. Just in the sense that it's just like it's just got the dad bod a little bit. And when you get the dad bod, sometimes you get that pudge on the face, too. Where you get a little bit of, like, chunk on the, cheeks a little bit, on the chin a little. It makes the face, kind of rounded and pudged. I mean, Andrew Yang just straight up got that bod, but if he was like, fit, like vet athletic or some shit, whatever, he basically looked like this. Like, if Yang lost like 50 pounds and got like hella fit or some shit, like, he would look like this. I will admit that. You know what? That's my addition to Rose's, initial, it was so racist. So if it sounds racist, then oops. It's like, it has nothing to do with that, with them being Asian and shit. In fact, I'm pretty sure, they come from totally different backgrounds anyway. Like, I mean, but whatever, it's like, they do look similar, I will admit. Just on the, because, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but, like, I do think if, like, Andrew Yang lost, like, 50 pounds and got, like, hella fit, and, like, went to the gym bro, status a little bit, like, he would look like this a little bit. And if his hair was, I guess, like, more, like, thinner. I mean, this guy's hair looks thinner, but longer at the same time. Like, it's thin hair, but he's also trying to kind of keep it long, because Andrew Yang, I don't know, maybe if I remember correctly, didn't he usually kind of keep that kind of slick back? If I remember. It's been forever since I've seen Andrew Yang, and frankly, it's been forever since I even thought of him. So, I don't know what he looks like right now, but at least from what I remember, I mean, Andrew Yang just looked like this, but pudgy. Have you ever noticed have you ever wondered what we do for immortality? Most people would probably procrastinate. Did you do that thing, ass? Sorry, not yet. You had 1,000 years. It's work of progress, man. Jeez. Also, that this dude is the only Asian dude running as a Republican. Wait, really? Is he? Wait, did you look that up? Is he the only Asian running in the Republican Party? Because if so, that's hilarious. Because that just proves that he's a fucking pick-me. Like, he's not, able to try to gun for that presidential seat, like Vivek tried. But he's gonna try to get himself up there. Dude, how much you want to bet this motherfucker is gonna try to be like, in 2028, how much oh, you know what? Let's fucking call it. I'm calling a fucking thing right now. 2028, he's gonna make a presidential run in the RNC. I mean, I don't know, actually. Oh, well, I don't know. It will be funny if it's true. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure, there's some other Asian guys that are Republicans, at least on the local state level and stuff, but, like, at least, for a big name that's kind of getting out there, I'm willing to make a bet that this guy is going to try to wing it as that kind of guy. Like, he wants to try to, make waves. Maybe that's why he's, kind of, been going nutty a little bit. Maybe that's why he's a nutbag. I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe he's trying to kind of, make some heat, get a little name recognition. So next election cycle, maybe he could run in the primary. Maybe not make it, but at least get his name out there. Kind of be like, maybe try to rebrand the pick me like, well, I'm Asian, but Republican and far right like y'all, but in a very different way. Because Vivek Ramaswamy, he wasn't Christian, so that was another reason why a lot of people didn't trust him. So this guy is a Christian, though. So that's another appeal, for a lot of Christian nationalist types, where that is a selling point. Oh, he's good with God. That Vivek, though, you kind of wishy-washy about that. He ain't exactly right with God, I think. I don't even think he believes in that shit. Probably just believe that po donkey Vishnu kind of stuff, I tell you, wood boy. Kind of bullshit. The far right have been rioting in the UK. Wait, what the fuck? Really? Oh, so far for Law and Order, though, right? Of course, it's literally for the dumbest reason ever. Some dude stabbed a bunch of people, and the far right blame immigration, even though the suspect isn't a migrant. Shocker. But because the suspect probably is like a brown person, they just assume he's an immigrant, and thus they want to use xenophobia and racism to fucking, push their stupid agenda and riot over the fact that black people and brown people exist in their fucking country. Even though they colonized and enslaved them and oppressed them all as a fucking bunch of inbred hillbilly fucking yokel incestuous fucking English Anglo-Saxon fucking Neanderthals, so they can go fuck themselves. Fucking bunch of backwards ass fucking scum. Like, and that shit, I fucking mean that. That ain't even me spicing it up. Fuck the English, honestly. I'm not really fond of them. Because they're a bunch of fucking right-wing, chuckle fucking yokel backwards fucking hillbillies. They're more, like, because honestly, I can at least understand a fucking hillbilly in America. I can at least understand what the fuck they're speaking. They speak more proper English than a goddamn British person where the fucking King's English came from. Oh, I say, let's get your little bit of your toe. So what? Like, fucking weird backwards ass motherfuckers. Can barely crawl themselves out of a fucking goddamn medieval age and shit. And they got, like, modern technology and shit. Give me a break, bunch of fucking backwards ass motherfuckers. Man, I always think about that old quote. The sun never set on the English Empire because God never trusted Englishmen in the dark. I wonder why. Well, at least, I'm not even a God believer, but shit, I take that to heart. British English sounds like English was put in a blender, because it was. It might as well have been literally put in a blender. Like, because even these right-wing redneck motherfuckers like this guy, for example, even though he's Asian, don't matter. You could be a redneck hillbilly right-wing fuckboy and shit, your background don't mean shit on that, unless you're British. But, but at least, his fucking English, I mean, it's also kind of doing a presentation of like, I'm a proper politician. But it's like, it feels just like your average yokel, like, Alabamian or some shit, or like, some rural town Virginian boy or some shit, that it literally would just basically be like, oh, it's like, well, I tell you what, My friends here, and they all just need to get good God eyesight. Like, it just be that stereotypical Southern bullshit. You might try to add a little extra sophistication just to not, be made fun of by the whites around them or whatever, but that'd basically be it. The riots are into such stupid premise that even Fox called it out. You want to find a link for me or something? Because I'm kind of curious on what the fuck this is going on about. In the meantime, here, we'll actually kind of listen to more of this absurd shit here real quick. Just kind of at least hear his actual insanity, because we pretty much have gotten it out of the way that he's just a stereotypical Christian guy. He hasn't said anything that stuck out to me.
Called Lover's Point.
Yeah.
The original name was Lovers of Christ Point, but now it's become, they took out the Christ, it's Lover's Point, and it's really, Monterey is a very dark place now.
Yeah.
A lot of witchcraft and the Wiccan community has really taken over there. And we can't let that happen in Virginia. Virginia is, especially down in Roanoke, they're God-loving people.
Right.
Richmond, too, and Virginia Beach, and we just need to mobilize Christians across the nation.
So he's running.
Wait, is this supposed to be the most insane shit? Was that it? Predominantly? Well, there's a little more, I guess, over here. Because if so, that means nothing to me. Because, dude, I hear Christians talk about shit like that all the time. Dude, even fucking, current Republican politicians say shit like that. So if that's meant to be, like, the most insane shit, like, not really. That's pretty, like, carte blanche, for what Republicans, freak out about and talk about on a daily basis. At least Christians specifically, the evangelical far right. Or maybe not your average Republican, but even they do. They just, talk about mainly in the churches, and, in their little Bible study stuff. Maybe they don't always, blatantly talk about it in their politics, but even then, they do. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll look at this thing. I want to see this other little thing, that is here, because if there's at least something here, then maybe we can at least react to that. But if not, then it's like, he just sounds like a stereotypical Republican. He just has a funny name.
This is the other clip that popped up. Watch this.
We need incentives, right? So doctors will innovate and do things better just out of incentive, and that's where we want to be able.
Yeah, the incentive should be for the research and development of maximizing the health of human society instead of profit. Okay, I know you don't believe that, but okay.
To have
weirdly enough, at least in a vacuum, I don't disagree with that.
For everybody to if you want to pay more, then pay more and get better health care. It's
I knew it. See what I mean? That's not, it shouldn't be about, see, in a vacuum, when it comes to the idea of, the incentive not being about profit and the concept of, expand that, as a theory when it comes to, that type of shit. When you expand it, in theory, I could agree with it, but as soon as you add money to it, then it's nope. That ain't incentive unless you want to be a greedy, fucking manipulative shitbag. And a fuckwad that just wants to make, a bunch of money off of people's own fucking health and off of their fucking backs and suffering. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, so basically stereotypical Republican nonsense. Alright, so go figure. Shocker. If you want to pay more for healthcare, then just do it, I guess. What a fucking idiot, bro. Far-right anti-immigrant riots persist across the UK. Oh, good lord. Past 2 days, the UK has been battered by widespread riots led by hundreds of far-right protesters. Violent riots began on Tuesday night following a devastating spree that killed 3 young girls and wounded several others at children's dance and yoga class. Attack has triggered Islamophobic and anti-immigration sentiments in the UK. Leading to arrests. Officers injured, multiple buildings damaged, including a mosque and a hotel known to house asylum seekers. Riots entered the 6th day? So this shit's been going on for a minute, dude. At a Taylor Swift themed dance and yoga class, 3 girls were killed and 10 more were injured, including 8 children and 2 adults. False rumors began to spread online, claiming he was an asylum seeker behind the attack. Suspect publicly named by police Thursday as Axel Witakubana, born in Wales. So there literally are, like a Welsh-born fucking, like Englishman. And on Tuesday night, rioters stormed the streets of Southport, targeting a local mosque. In statement, Southport Mosque said members of his congregation locked themselves inside while individuals throw petrol bombs and bricks at the building, according to Molotovs and fucking bricks. So they were like legit trying to kill these fucking people. So like straight up like terrorist acts on top of, a fucking riot. It's one thing to try to like burn a fucking building down, but to have like a bunch of people in it and just like try to like, burn them in with it. It's like a fucking like, lynching attempt. I need you to tell me my soul is not soul food. Your food is soul food. Soul food. Which Sound City has not been affected. There's so many of these places affected that, like, there are places where it's like, yeah, here's places that haven't been yet. Some 700 rioters surrounded a Holiday Inn Express in Rotherham, which is known for to house asylum seekers. Windows were broken, a family trash bin was thrown in the building. So a bunch of fucking right-wing moronic dipshits. This guy literally this guy right here on the right literally looks like he's wearing a fucking Amazon shirt. I'm an Amazon delivery driver and I make fucking nothing, but you know what? I want to take my racist bullshit off and, into this Holiday Inn, what I say. Belfast, the cafe, supermarket, several cars were inflamed in the following protests. Whitehall, near the gates of Downing Street. 111 people arrested on Wednesday night. 5 officers injured by bottles and other objects. And, well, who cares? Fucking, they're little bobbies, I say. So, yeah, fuck them. And other objects are thrown at them. Well, others physically attack. Well, far right attacking the right wing arm of the police state. Yeah, so, enough is enough. Stop about, I say. Oh my god. Yeah, maybe you should have stopped your colonizing boats, shit, when y'all existed. So, fuck. Dude, these fucking right-wing pieces of shit, bro. Now, they want to freak out because, BLM, in America, destroying the West, I say, and blah, blah, blah. And they want to fucking do this bullshit. It's like, and all this other garbage. It's like and also, these are the same type of people that want to fucking cry about law and order. We have to have law and order all over this nation, I say. Love the police state, but as soon as, like, this shit happens, they're all like, yo, fuck this police. Fuck this state. We must steal right and burn it down. Fucking inbred fucking shits. I got no love for this fucking bigoted nonsense bullshit, and and tie that in with, like, these fucking Brits, then I exceptionally got no fucking sympathy, or respect, or love, or really fucking any of that shit when it comes to these worthless fucking scum. These are like the lowest of the low of humanity right here. The fucking xenophobic, bigoted, racist, fucking monarchist-style Anglo-Saxon Brit. Fucking worthless backwater piece of shit of our fucking earth. Ugh. Disgusting. What's context? There was this stabbing in the UK, and there's been riots going on for pretty much a week. For 6 days, over it. Even though the guy that did the stabbings and shit is not an immigrant, and all these fucking people on the far right are basically trying to, like, riot and freak the fuck out over Islamophobia and xenophobia because I guess the suspect is a brown person who was born in Wales. So it's just like, I mean, the piece of shit, obviously, so, like, obviously the guy's a piece of shit, but like, they're using this as an excuse to pretty much try to, like, expand their fucking xenophobic agenda. Trying to co-workers with you. It says stay alive. He wants to see the show. Well, I mean, it's... Wait, why did he stab? There's no... I mean, as far as... I don't fucking know. It just said, well, here, this is just what it says. The riots come after a stabbing rampage on July 29th at the Taylor Swift themed dance and yoga class in Southport, England. 3 girls, B.B. King, Isley Dot, Stancombe, and Alice de Aguilar, were killed and 10 more injured, including 8 children and 2 adults. Police arrested a 17-year-old at the scene, but was initially withheld the scene because the suspect was under 18, but they eventually found it was Axel Ruda Cabana, who was born in Wales. So, not even an immigrant or anything, or an asylum seeker, none of that. Born in Wales, so an English person. And, but yet this is the excuse for the riots. I mean, look, it's still a fucked up thing. Obviously not excusable, but the idea to have a fucking massive riot over this shit, instead of maybe peaceful demonstration, hey, can we address the fucking violent crime, problems that are happening here? I mean, because it's never been about actually addressing these issues. It's always about trying to push their fucking weird ass bigoted bullshit. And at least as it stands now, I guess it doesn't really say why it happened, just that it did. And down in Bangladesh as protesters plan to march in capital. So, dude, there's fucking crazy shit going on in Bangladesh too. Renewed anti-government protests have left nearly 100 dead in Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is going for some shit too, dude. Even they're going for fucking riots. Damn, look at that. Can you repeat? I mean, there's not really much to know. It's just the dude who did it, was a 17-year-old and, and was, was named Axel Rubicabana and or something like that. I don't fucking know. What was it again? Ruda Cabana, yeah. And then, born in Wales, and they're using, and the far right are using it as an excuse to basically, use that about, as an excuse to push their Islamophobia and xenophobia and shit. What the fuck? Yeah. So, I mean, it's new information to me. I don't know much about it. And I guess I also just found out what's going on in Bangladesh, too. Man, and also this is the week off that DFF is doing, too. So they're not going to have an episode on Tuesday for Onion Nuggets. And it's god damn it. I want their take in the news on this shit. Especially with all that, bleh. The fuck? So much piss on the ground in this bathroom. Dude, man. That's why I'm not a fan of going in public bathrooms if I can help it. There's honestly only a few that I'm okay with, and it's pretty much at the place I'm kind of a regular at. Duffy's, for example, because at least the bathrooms there aren't fucked up. There's only been one time ever, and pretty much literally everyone freaked out about it, because, who did that, and the next day it was quickly resolved. In fact, it was even resolved pretty much, shortly after. Because, I think someone was so drunk, they literally, sat on the edge of the toilet seat and unleashed. But instead of being, in the toilet, it was on the edge of it. And not even on the edge, but, literally, on the ground next to it. It was how in the fuck is someone so messed up? They're just I need to sit down right here. And they don't even realize that they have, one fucking leg just, dangling. It's bruh. Is that dog ever going to wake up in this little sleepy ass little stupor? Bangladesh is about student protests that turned full civilian. Huh? I mean, those two little headlines that I saw with, like, you know, what's going on in Bangladesh is all I know about it. So I literally don't. Well, I guess I could look it up on it. I'm sure there's like a YouTube on it right now, or YouTube video on it or something. Oh shit. Oh whoa, dude! I think there's like some live shit from like a India TV station or something, bro. Dude, it is! Alright, we're turning that way down because I can't understand whatever the language this is. But, dude, this is live footage! Damn! Is there captions? No, there ain't. Oh shit, that's an APC right there. That's like an armored vehicle. With a bunch of soldiers on top and all these people are all around it just like, fuck that shit. I mean, is this live? I'm assuming it's live. Dude, I want to hear their chants a little bit. Dude, I always love a good protest because them chants always go hard, though. Ooh, I don't know what they're saying. Something like that, I think. But dude, I don't know what it is, but it does kind of low-key go hard. Whatever they're yelling. Dude, look at all these people. Holy shit. I'm assuming these are probably like previous reels from earlier. Dude, fucking proletariat of Bangladesh, rise up, bro. Fucking A. I'll cheers to that shit, man. That's fucking some cool shit right here, bro. Dude, this guy right here, though. Oh, shit, hold on. Let's go back like 5 seconds. Here we go. Dude, that guy right there, though. This guy in the blue shirt. Where is he? That guy. There he is. There he is. That guy right there. This guy, though. It's like, sup. This guy, though. Dude. Fucking Chad, bro. Look at this guy. He's like, what's up? What the fuck's up, Duffies? What the fuck's up, Denny's? It's like the fuck is Denny's Grand Slam. Like, what the fuck's up? Right here. What's up, bitch? Dude, fuck yeah. Dude, look at all these people, man. This is fucking awesome. Fucking A, man. Stick it to the man, people. Stick it to the Bangladeshi man, people. Fuck yeah. Dude, look at him over there charging. Hell yeah. Look at him go. Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking A. Hold up. Dude, that guy with the bandana and the aviators, though. Dude, what the fuck, dude? So many of these people in Bangladesh got some drip. Dude, they got a vibe out here, man. Hold on, right there. Dude, look at our boy right there. Fuck yeah. He's got a, a little red bandana on. Dude, he's got like some straight up like some Charlie Sheen energy a little bit at his peak almost. Like, dude, that is like some energy right there on that guy. I could tell. He's out there. Dude, fuck yeah, man. This is awesome. Fucking sticking it to the fucking bourgeois Bangladeshi man, bro. Fucking rise up, y'all. Even the kids are out in it. Dude, we got one. Dude, there's like a little kid out there, sticking it out there and shit.
যে পরিমাণ মানুষ অংশগ্রহণ করেছেন শিক্ষার্থীদের পাশাপাশি বিভিন্ন শ্রেণী পেশার মানুষ যে মিছিলটি শুরু হয়েছিল এই মিছিলের অগ্রভাগটা যখন আমি মহাখালীর দিক থেকে দেখছিলাম তখন যে
I don't know what they're chanting. They're saying like Solanda or something like that. I think, but I don't know what it is. But dude, they're going hard, bro. Not only are they doing chants, but they're fucking like bumping it almost. Like they got some energy going on right now, man. And yeah, it is live. It says live right there in the corner. So this is like actual shit that's happening right now. Like, these are people out there on the ground right now as we speak doing this shit. Fucking A, man. Fucking A. This is a epic shit, dude. Fucking good on you fucking people out there. Fucking good on the Bangladeshi for this shit, man. They're yelling, we like MILFs in Pakistani. I am assuming you're joking. I don't think you decided to backtrack the audio of what they're chanting and shit because what the fuck? I know. like honestly, there was a dude. I'm crossfaded enough to the point where I legitimately thought that he was serious, but I'm just like, nah, there ain't. What the fuck, Stefan? What are you saying? He's saying that they like MILFs who like the fuck, bro. But they're saying it in Pakistani, which I'm pretty sure, like, hey, I just fed it into an AI and that's why I got back. Oh, so you want to criticize AI, but yet you use it to, fucking, audio backtrack, what there was translated there. I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I actually did funny enough that not to, sound like about it, really. I'm just gonna say it really quick. I actually did funny enough find like a little like music app a little bit. That's that's free. That does some of that kind of stuff. But you can also add extra prompts, including like record your own stuff and say, hey, use this riff to do some other shit and blah blah blah. And I've been kind of tinkering with it, and it's been kind of actually interesting. Like, I mean, it's something that I kind of want to mess with a little more and see what comes out of it. But it's actually legit kind of interesting. I can at least see the kind of curiosity of it. I mean, it's kind of why I'm a little more open to it. Like, I was kind of reading some of the stuff y'all were saying. It's like, which I don't even disagree. Like, I do think this shit should absolutely be fucking regulated. It needs to be a tool and seen as a tool, instead of something that conquers, the idea of like, what is creativity and what, like I get the fears of it. And that's why I do think the idea of like, trying to embrace and regulate and curtail those fears, now is a good idea. Cause I think there's some cool shit that could come from it, but, we just kind of, need to kind of like, put the collar and leash on it now before it becomes like this gigantic direwolf in Skynet and dun 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 do 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 do. We don't want that. None of us wants that. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Terminator. Starting on Schwarzenegger. I was joking. No AI was harmed in the making of that joke. Well, hey, you know what? Put a quick little stun lock on my point stance.
টঙ্গীর মাঝখানে এয়ারপোর্ট খিলক্ষেতের যে রাস্তাটি সেটি হয়ে তারা কিন্তু এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে এই মিছিলে শরীক হয়েছেন বিভিন্ন শ্রেণী পেশার মানুষ
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm always down for a fucking protest. That's why I'm just so happy seeing this, honestly. I do kind of want to know like what it specifically is about. Bangla TV. Oh, so so Bangla TV. So I think this is like a news station on like that's out in Bangladesh. So I think this is like the equivalent of like CNN or something. Seriously, YouTube is soft censoring literally all of Logan's comments. Well, dude, YouTube is stupid. I didn't even know he was here until I switched to all comments. Well, yeah, you have to kind of do that. Like when it comes to live chat, switch to all comments because the top comments, like 90% will be censored.
অবস্থান নিয়েছিল এবং সেই অবস্থান নিয়ে তারা বাংলা ব্লকেট পালন করে 3 দিন এবং এরপর 2 দিন যে মাঝখানের সময় ছিল সেই 2 দিনের পর তারা
Dude, this guy is like, narrating so hard. He's like, like, dude, my guy is actually breathing like he's narrating so hard, dude. Dude, even the news reporter is going hard, bro. He's like, oh shit, I'm narrating so hard. There's so much going on. Oh. Dude, listen, he's actually legit breathing, like, oh. He's winded. And also getting cut off. Whoa. Dude, everyone's just going hard out there, dude. I mean, everything's all peaceful as fuck, but everyone's just going ham in a way. Just with just the energy. Oh, look like someone's going down there for a second. Damn. It's pretty wild. Is there... They have a live chat? Oh shit, they do. Oh, they actually do. Some people in here. It looks like a lot of other Bangladeshi people are in here, like, chilling. Oh yeah. And it looks like a lot of people are, like, being supportive, at least the ones I can, see. Yeah, it looks like it. Hell yeah. Dude, everyone seems to be supporting this shit. I'm gonna have to, like, definitely look into, like, what the hell's going on with this. It sounds like it's at least something about, like, some student protests or some shit. But, I mean, it's one of those things where I definitely want to at least, kind of look at it a little more, because evidently there's shit's popping off there, too. But it looks like, at least from a lefty kind of unify, kind of proletarian, like, kind of populist kind of front aspect, instead of, the far-right British nonsense that's going on over there. Kitties. Kitties!
What?
Shadow cat. Aww. Aww.
Lasagna's being fed like lasagna like 3 times.
If that cat ain't called Garfield, I'd be upset.
It's gonna make it. Oh shit. It's on the edge.
Oh, I know that one too. I've seen that one. The cat, freaks out, but ends up being okay.
No, that was the wrong way, you being naughty.
You're naughty. I know. Dude, this cat's straight up giving like a little smirk after that too. What the fuck? Oh.
Are you part dog?
Bro stood on business, damn.
What?
Damn, bro. Even that cat understood business. He was like, oh, hell no. And I saw that there was another link up here. Wait, what was this? Oddity condominium? Wait, so what was this? This isn't just a comp video? Or, wait, what was this? Wait, what the fuck is this?
Dr. Nowhere's Office of Wonders presents the Oddity Compendium, a beginner's anomaly education program. Welcome to the Oddity Compendium. Today, we will be learning about many wonderful and strange oddities
The fuck is
that
this?
exist inside of, outside of, and around your universe. These strange phenomena can range anywhere from life, products, and organizations to even events of anomalous time periods. Important. The following information has been acquired from realities that may be separate from the one you are currently residing in. Please be aware that knowledge or comprehension of incompatible information may result in a conscious reality fracture.
A fraction of reality? Cool. I want some of that. Can we have more of that? That sounds dope. What will we learn today? Is it purposely like out of... I guess it is, weirdly enough, whatever. What will we learn today? Your belly may be harboring a hunger for the flesh. Sleep with a cold fan on if possible. Awesome! I get to be consumed. To become one with the mattress. Nice. If you ever walk downstairs one morning and your family is gone, interacting with the headless corpses that remain in their stead should be avoided. Non-existence is a contagious disease. Awesome! Woo! If you're out in the middle of nowhere and you get a rush of brilliant ideas, turn back immediately. Enlightenment is a drug and the withdrawals can kill. Dope. Flashbeds.
Fleshbeds or mattress folk are a species of parasitic subhuman that highly resemble bedding mattresses. The body of a dormant fleshbed appears identical to a standard mattress. However, slicing the thin sheet-like skin reveals many soft organs, limb-like appendages, and a humanoid head which hides beneath the skin. They were first discovered in the late 1960s when the mattress company was surveying excess storage. Upon finding many seemingly pristine mattresses that had not been sold, they gave them away to thrift shops and people in need. The people who received the mattress folk initially had no issues with the faux beds. It wasn't until the air began to warm up that these beds awoke from their eventful hibernations. The first reported victim was 19-year-old Alice Bidger. She had been sleeping on a flesh bed for roughly 6 months before her sudden disappearance. After noticing the stench of sulfur and rot originating from her bed, her family called authorities, and the inside of the mattress revealed a feasting parasite, several hundred human bones, and a half-digested Alice.
Damn.
The method in which mattress folks sustain themselves is by waiting for the body heat of a host to wake them from their dormant state. Kind of like an egg, but not nearly as tasty.
Is there a laugh track?
They slowly unfold themselves from their soft mattress-like bodies. This process is very gradual and happens underneath its body or on its side so as not to be detected. After roughly a month of this process and on a night 70 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, it's head and arm.
Why can't the dudes disguise themselves as silk beds or some shit so rich fucks sleep on them? Because, you know, us proletariat have to suffer.
Fully emerge and pull the sleeping ghost into its body.
We must suffer for, you know, Mammon. We must suffer, you know, upon the evil god of Mammon that, you know, treats us as nothing more than pawns for his cog of growth and infinite greed. That includes the mattress folk. A feast for a king, see?
Not much is known about how these sleeping beauties came about, but it is theorized that since they are subhuman, they were once a branch of Homo sapiens that merged with a mycelial network many years ago. Autopsies of fleshbeds' digestive systems have revealed DNA samples from thousands of different people in each instance, some even tracing to people born during the 1600s.
So these mattress folk are basically like the Thing, but a bed?
The odd thing to note is that the mattress folk themselves contain DNA belonging to humans as well. One instance shared DNA in a blood type with Napoleon Bonaparte, leader of the French Republic during the time that the mattress folk were assumed to have come into existence. All in all, it might be a good idea to throw out that mattress that feels just a bit too warm lately. You might be sharing it with something unwanted. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bed bite.
Headless macrocosm?
The headless macrocosm is a sub-reality nearly identical to Earth's save, for the fact that instead of humans, pale headless corpses remain in their stead. These corpses, though technically dead, do weakly breathe through the holes in their necks. Their hearts have also been observed to begin convulsing at seemingly random intervals. These beings are identical in appearance to one another aside from physical dimensions, which can vary severely between each corpse. The headless sub-people dwelling...
How to get Napoleon's DNA? I'm assuming that he, instead of dying how we know, or at least, you know, from what we understand how he died, the mattress folk consumed him. Why can't... So, I mean, that's what I would assume.
Changing their behavior when humans have physically interacted with them, and apparently gain a level of awareness and vitality when such events occur. There are approximately 2,393 living humans residing in this reality, all from parallel Earth. Every single resident recounts waking up in the headless macrocosm after falling asleep under strange circumstances back in their home realities. No
Wow.
one back in their own parallel homes remembers their faces or identities, which leads to the belief that this place could be a form of anti-reality. A waste compartment of the universe used for aspects of reality that are useless or harmful to existential fabric. The humans that live in the headless macrocosm are assumed to
What else? Are clock ticking? No.
taking shelter in abandoned
No, wait, it's gone. Oh, you know what? It might be my leg.
structures and banding together to search for plant-based food during the warmer times. Fun fact.
Sometimes
Humans
I'd
have
like to
coined
bounce it.
multiple terms and nicknames for these headless corpses, such as stumpies, cranes, and ichabodies. Despite this sub-reality being detached from main reality, an incident took place which created a temporary tier between the two. A man residing in the headless macrocosm was walking through a field with a small house in the center. Upon reaching the house, the man unintentionally brushed up against one of the breathing bodies. This body, just before motion was aside from electric convulsions, sprang to life and removed the head of the man. It then proceeded to attach the severed head to the stump of its own neck.
Whoa. That's actually kind of fucking metal, dude. I mean, dude, that actually sounds like that could be a metal album. Like the process of like one of these, headless macrocosms just like attach the head to its own body while like this other person's like, oh! And then you have its like spine still like, and then like these tendrils and shit still attached and like this drip of blood. Oh, dude, that sounds like a fucking epic ass metal album right there, bro. That sounds like an album cover, like right there, dude. That just sounds epic. Someone should feed that to like one of these like photo AIs to see if it can make one with that prompt. Like make a headless, body, fucking like straight up, like try to, like have it in the mid process of removing a head, from another body to attach it to its own or some shit. Losing your head is another man's head. Losing your dude, I mean, or something like that. I mean, I don't. That would definitely be at least a good idea for it.
The man's name was Michael Edford. After the corpse had placed Michael's head where its own should be, an event occurred back on Earth in the year 2061 that resulted in governmental intervention.
Whoa.
A family
In
called
future.
the authorities
Wait,
described
the
an
future.
impossibly tall naked figure appearing in their backyard. The presence of this oddity was highly distressing to the family, and they remained inside their home until the situation was resolved. The following photograph depicts this figure they spoke of. Michael Tedford's rotting head is affixed atop its frail neck. Shortly after the photo was taken, what was left of Tedford's existence was removed from the premises and taken to an upscale anomaly testing site. Apparently, this corpse was attempting to quite literally defend Tedford by leeching off of his existence. These breathing bodies appear to be in a constant state of yearning to reconnect with the roots of reality again, as they have been taken a hold of by a dangerous and contagious disease. This disease appears to be non-existence itself. It can affect anyone on Earth at any time, and once it takes hold, the headless macrocosm deems you valid for residence within its endless meadows, filled with fellow patients.
Whoa. That sounds some like existential black metal shit right there, dude.
Don't worry, it's a rare diagnosis. Another fun fact. Occasionally, crude man-made structures will form seemingly out of nowhere in order to correspond with the structures on parallel Earth. As mentioned earlier, the headless macrocosm itself functions like a digestive tract of the universe, and these structures may be antibodies attempting to fight off the virus of non-existence. Now then, check your head. Screwed on tight. Great, because you might want to hang on tight to it for this next one.
Whoa. Obelisks of enlightenment.
The
Whoa,
obelisks
dude.
of enlightenment are a collective of monolithic beings that are currently residing in different remote locations across the world. Also known as the Fathers of True North, they appear in groups of 1 to 8 and stand anywhere from 10 to 150 feet tall.
Whoa.
Each obelisk is levitated just barely above the ground and facing geodetic north. Though most of them reside in remote fields and deserts, they have also been found
Deserts?
above the ocean within
Tasty.
the vicinity of the Bermuda Triangle and even of the
Or a
Moon.
story kind of like
They are
this. It was about some monster chick who could erase you with a touch, including your existence from most memory. Damn, dude.
just ever so slightly and progress
Ultimate
approximately 2
non-existence.
inches forward a year. These obelisks are enlightened in the infinitely vast secrets of the universe, and they're constantly vocalizing the excess information as a means of ways to counteract the overwhelming intake of knowledge. Though currently
Whoa.
enclosed and monitored by government entities, many people have wandered into these locations prior claiming to be following the sound of angelic singing. This alluring hum emanating from these obelisks seduces a massive increase in general intelligence and subjects listening. Folklore often refers to the frequency as the song of the divine contour. Each obelisk flight.
Dude, that in itself sounds like an awesome song name. Just simply call it the Song of the Divine Contour, bro. Dude, that sounds like an epic of a song. And it needs to be like one of those like long ass songs that are like 20 minutes long or some shit because fuck you, that's why. It needs to be like a hella long ass song. At minimal, a 10-minute song. Like, it needs to be a lengthy one. Because that sounds like an epic of a song right there. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. That in itself just sounds metal as fuck and just like an epic in itself. Especially as like an idea for like some existential like themes, you know, and shit and stuff. Like, I kind of like it. I'm digging it.
It is assumed this is a form of knowledge worship, an attempt to make a mortal sacrifice for an immortal honor. Fun fact, these organs are confirmed to be those of the humans and other biological matter that were absorbed after enlightenment.
Nice.
Upon perceiving the words spoken by the obelisks or entering into close proximity with them, the human brain either spontaneously expands and combusts or receives an ability to comprehend the sacred information. Talk about being open-minded. Whenever a subject is able to comprehend this knowledge, they are biologically absorbed into the obelisk, becoming wholly unified with the being. It is not entirely understood how these anomalies were brought into existence, but they seem to be peers in the fabric of reality akin to black holes. Many speculate that these rifts
Who sick fucks living in the background, laughing in the background? I don't know.
By ancient giants who were dissatisfied with a lack of Earth's knowledge. Many unnaturally large humanoid skeletons have been found underground adjacent to obelisk sites, further supporting this idea. When the obelisks made their debut on Earth, they aided in the construction of the pyramids of Giza by bestowing digestible levels of sacred knowledge onto it.
Damn. So the whole alien theory comes into play with this shit too. Oh fuck.
He was lured into the desert by their beckoning hordes. This knowledge would help you rationalize a possible blueprint and method for building these grand tombs, and they were made into the shapes of pyramids as a tribute to the divine structures. All in all, these obelisks may seem malevolent, but it's important to remember that no physical pain could ever outweigh the agony of infinite knowledge.
Infinite knowledge? Whoa, dude. Dude, honestly, right there, and it's... Dude, right there actually looks like a pretty awesome album cover. It's just called The Anguish of Infinite Knowledge. Oh my god, you can even see the eyes. Holy fuck, dude. Bruh. This is an album cover. Straight up.
Now, looks like our time here may be almost up. But before you go, it's time for a bonus oddity.
Bonus oddities.
This is Philbus. It is not known where Philbus comes from or why he is here, but there have been a number of people who, after...
Aww. You know, Philbus actually kind of looks a little cute. Dude, he honestly looks a little innocent. He looks kind of cute. He's just like, I'm just an innocent being. Would you like to have a little tea with me, please? Man, Thomas is taking it and doesn't look happy. It's new job! No shit!
Filming media depicting Philbus has felt the overwhelming compulsion to practice Philbism. Philbism is a political and somewhat religious ideology which centers around the belief that building/consuming chairs and other wooden furniture is honoring Philbus' great sacrifice. It is not clear what this sacrifice
It looks like something out of Courage the Cowardly Dog. He actually does a little bit, yeah.
Attributes and practices of Philbism include learning to build chairs, learning to properly digest chairs, promoting/discussing chair consumption on obscure internet forums.
Wait, consuming chairs and shit? Like, how do you... Wait, what?
Praising the fictional political candidate known as Philbus, who is said to advocate for making furniture consumption a socially accepted and widespread practice. There are so many wonderful things about Philbism. Consume the body of Philbus and become one with many others today. It's a great decision. Just eat your chair to get started, immense.
Just eat the chair? All I have to do is just eat chairs, okay.
Philbism and elaboration on the subject will eventually result in it becoming a sponsorship or advertisement of sorts. We have no idea how to avoid this, sorry. All Philbists will deny the existence of Philbism when directly questioned about it. This video was not in any way sponsored by Philbism. This is for educational purposes only. Philbism does not even exist.
Uh-oh. The people that run this broadcast are Philbists.
Philbism certification here. Party of Philbist today. How would you look at the clock? It's just about time for us to part ways.
Whoa.
Process will now commence. This purely auditory procedure will ensure you do not come away from this with any ailments from beyond contracted during your viewing experience. Please close your eyes and do not open them until told to do so.
Nah. Leaving them open. Whoa. Whoa, dude. What the fuck? Freaky. There's that Japanese game that show that makes edible furniture. So, well, hey. They'll never admit that Philbism is a real thing. By the way, it doesn't even exist. You know, so eat your chair. Join Philbism today. It doesn't exist. Eat it. Eat the chair. Eat the chair. Eat the chair.
You may now open your eyes. Thank you for complying. Thank you for attending Dr. Nowhere's Office of Wonder.
Isn't the keep them closed message pointless if you know people's eyes are closed? Well, it's for people like me who obviously didn't listen to the message, because obviously you need to, you know, join in the practice of great Philbism when it comes to being a Philbist. Which, by the way, eat your fucking chair, and it doesn't exist. Philbism does not exist. Eat the chair. It's like tell a deaf person to cover their ears.
We hope that you enjoyed your stay.
Also, by the way, I'm not gonna lie, I actually have no idea if Logino and his coworkers are showing up or not, because he was like trying to hang out, and I'm just like, because low-key, I'm like, I don't really want to, because I know they're just gonna be hella fucking late with shit, but there's an off-ball chance that they might. I suppose I'm not against it, but it ain't my Friday, and it's like, If it was my Friday, I wouldn't give a fuck, honestly, but like, I don't know. I know about it. Though I at least have potential plan to be going rafting here pretty soon. And with my doggo being a sweet little boy and all cleaned up, it's super flea free too. I might take him with me. I'll just have to see what they all say about that. He needs to go on more ranges. Oh my god, you little stretchy bean. You little bean. You lazy bones, you. Oh my god. Damn, I'm kind of hungry. I'm trying to decide between office chair and a lawn chair. I think office has better texture and flavor. Or no, better flavor. But the lawn chairs do have better texture. That is true. That is true. I would imagine, the lawn chairs, tend to have a little bit, like, more texture. And arguably you would think it would have better flavor. I mean, because they're, they got a little bit of seasoning, a little green added to it, you know what I'm saying? There's a little variety going on with that. I mean, so you think a lawn chair would be a little better. Got a little seasoning, stuff like that. I mean, so, I don't know, it's one of those things where you think. Bruh. No. What the fuck? Is Moist Critical canceled? Wait, what the fuck happened to Moist Critical? Something happened with him? Moist Critical situation is crazy. What happened? What happened? Something happened? What? I don't know. Did Moist Critical apparently get canceled or something? Did something happen? I don't know. I just saw this. I'm just like, wait, what? I was like, wait, huh? Did I miss something? I mean, I've been missing a lot when it comes to politics and drama outside of like maybe the Zam bullshit or whatever. You uploaded today? Well, I know. Like, well, I haven't I don't watch every Moist Critical video. Like, I mean, but I will watch a lot of them, or at least a decent amount. But I kind of go for like phases where I'll not watch them for like a week, but then I'll like binge the fuck out of them for like a day or two. So I mean, it's been, I'm kind of in that I haven't binged him lately kind of thing. Outside of watching like a video or two here and there. So I'm out of the loop. That's all I know. But I'm curious. Like, did something happen? I will admit, I saw something about him talking to Sneeko and fucking on him. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
This Moist Critical situation is crazy. I can't believe you just sent this to me with 59 seconds with 0 views. You are such a Moist Critical dick rider. This is the only...
Damn. Someone's refreshing Moist Critical's fucking YouTube page, like, on the minute, bro. Damn.
I will allow it because he's getting cooked online for being pro-trans. Are you watching the Moist video? Yeah.
Really?
What a week, huh, sports fans? Holy Toledo. Yeah, so Moist Critical's in a big oopsie-poopsie situation here. It reminds me of the time in Moonfall when Casey Houseman sacrifices himself and dies of cringe to become the moon. Yeah, so,
whoa.
Serious now.
Don't get the reference, but whoa, bro.
Since this has become such a big issue, I've been in a lot of drama recently. I'm in hot water, and I'm biting on the fart bubbles that pop up in the bathtub here. It is a lot. So let's start with the most recent one today. My retirement. I didn't know I was retiring. That's news to me.
Does someone... Okay. I did hear about that a little bit. Like, I did kind of weirdly enough see some grapevine stuff about, like, yes, apparently someone tried to, say that Moist Critical was retiring or something. I was like, what? Like, even I was confused. And honestly, so I kind of heard a little bit about that. I don't really know anything about it that much. I just kind of know. I was just like, what? I was like, I did hear a little bit about that. So I guess I kind of heard some grapevine stuff about whatever's about to drop, I suppose. But I'm just obviously out of the loop. If it's true, I want him to respond in that classic voice way. What's up, everybody? It's Critical. You may have heard I've been kicking baby seals, and I just want to be the first to say I did it. And I'm proud of it, and I don't care. Y'all can just see the dick. Big pile of, nice floppy dicks on plate. And yeah, that's about it. See you.
Fucked as all of you are. I had a ton of fun last night playing a game called Clickleding, which is basically like a cuckoldry simulator, but for clicking against like the Lorax in a hotel room. And I just did...
I've seen gameplay of that game. I don't get it. Outside it, I really honestly don't understand it.
An old school gameplay commentary video. I was bubbly, full of jubilation. I posted it today only to learn that I'm just a big old liar. Liar, liar, plants for hire, I suppose.
Dude, it's crazy. Bro, this is literally happening.
Goddamn YouTube, I knew it was censoring you.
Me. Remember when I was...
That's why I tried to fill the gap.
On Discord, like, responding to chatters, and some chatters were saying dumb shit, and I was like, I'm gonna kill myself. Respond to a chatter. And then that shit was literally posted out of context. And I remember the time of my life in Australia with my friends and shit. And then I start getting calls from normies who saw tweets being like, oh, Hassan is killing himself. He's like really sad. And And because I don't have Twitter on my phone, I have no idea that this is what's popping. Way to make someone else's drama about you again. I'm a political commentator, or a commentator in
Hey, when my commentator gives personal insight.
general online.
God damn it.
So is he. It's not me making the drama about myself. It's just me saying, like, this is a very commonplace thing that happens on Twitter. So it's not that surprising that it happened to Charlie, but it is surprising that this is like a thing that happens so frequently. It's called sharing an experience with a person who you are relating to, while also simultaneously doing commentary over it. I hope you understand that, chatter. You know?
They won't.
Yeah, wow, an accurate...
They're going to be a moron about it. They're, like, straight up. I mean, because, like, by that logic, like, I might as well never ever give personal context to things. Like, because there's the whole idea of, like, yeah, anecdotes are anecdotes, you know, they're not like, you know, a monolith or an absolute to, like, you know, an idea or a topic or whatever. I mean, and yeah, it shouldn't necessarily be seen as that inherently, but they play a role when it comes to, like, you know, a context of a topic or conversation. There's value in that. It's like saying, hey, like, this is not just a thing that's happened to this person. I'm someone who has this experience, and there's other people that, you know, can, you know, with their own anecdotes, say the same. I mean, because, you know, I mean, because also, I mean, it's not really mentioned much, but, like, given enough anecdotes that pretty much, you know, correlate to the same fucking end result and ending premise, basically, and shit, especially with something like this, like, at that point, it starts becoming more like a statistic more than just an anecdote. I mean, so people really kind of undermine the value of what an anecdote can be, but it's like, at the same time, sometimes people do overplay it a little bit, which is why people kind of undermine it in a way. Because I do think there is value to it. Like, you know, when it comes to me as a lefty, you know, so to speak, and a woke lefty, you know, like, anarcho fucking syndicalist fuck, you know, myself or whatever, I could talk to conservative-leaning, even Zionist fucking, you know, folks and shit, and have a pretty decent civil conversation. You know, and still be honest and, you know, even pretty blunt about my ideas and, you know, put forth my positions and still have a cordial conversation. You know, so it's like, I mean, obviously, you know, anecdotes have value, but shit. I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, people kind of amp it up a little too hard. But they do have its place. And even honestly, I could be kind of guilty of it a little bit. But at least when it comes to the idea of contact theory a little bit, that's why I kind of amp my own, you know, anecdote about it, because I ain't the only one, you know? It's like, that's kind of where the whole idea of, like, anecdote becomes statistic when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because you have plenty of other people that have done similar shit. And or at least, you know, very overtly committed to it. Like Daryl Davis, for example. He's a pretty well-known, you know, contact theorist, leftist kind of guy, you know, who, you know, has deconverted overt Klansmen to maybe not being outright, like, you know, radical lefty progressive types or whatever, but at least, you know, maybe like libs or centrists or whatever the fuck. The Charlie horse is taking me. Save yourself. Oh, you got a Charlie horse? Oh, dude. Sympathies, man. Oh, shit. Ooh. Oh, dude. It's been a minute since I had a gnarly Charlie horse, but fuck, bro. Oh. It takes a strong will to power through that shit. Strong will right there, brother.
Oh, how narcissistic. It's very weird. People are so negative. You just watch YouTube and explain why genocide is bad. I will never understand the hate. No, that's the reason why. Because people are like, no, genocide is good. That's what it is. But
I'm not gonna lie, like the guy that, like, yeah, I was telling you about, like the, you know, that Ukrainian, like, Jewish guy that I was talking to the other, you know, week, you know, at the bar. I mean, honestly, they do kind of, you know, there are people that do shit like that, and he was kind of one of those dudes. He was even trying to tell me about, like, the Lone Soldier Regiment or whatever the fuck, which I never heard about until that guy, you know, until that kid, you know, told me about it. I'm just like, bro, I don't give a fuck. And frankly, you know what? Good for them. You know, they're like the lone, you know, like, you know, diasporal, you know, Jewish guys that decided to join the IDF because lols, I want to kill a Palestinian because, you know, having blood on my hands is fun. Ooh, woo. You know, it's like I didn't want to be a douchebag, but it's like, I mean, yeah, that's nice and all, but it's like, man, you know, I'd rather them just have, like, fun little, like, military parades and stuff like that instead of, like, going out there, and putting their lives at risk, because if the whole idea of the state of Israel is the safest place for Jews, then what they're doing right now isn't exactly enforcing that. You're putting a lot of them in harm's way by having them, like fucking go block by block, room by room, building by building, building rubble by building rubble, fucking, getting shot at or whatever the fuck, maybe. I mean, it's like, fucking hell, bro. And I don't want to get too hard into it, but like the dehumanization too and all this other shit, it gets ridiculous. And I was even kind of telling him that, and he's like, yeah, I get that, blah, 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 but it's because he was kind of being a lib about it. It's like, dude, if you get it, then, I mean, you have to understand why I have like something like a Free Palestine little like, thing on like my dog's vest or whatever, or on me even, it's like, I mean, it's like you have to, I mean, because obviously you do to an extent, I mean, but it's like, you have to understand why someone like me, looks, has that position, at least on a soft level, let alone a pretty hardcore level like I do. I wasn't like, putting all the fucking cards down on the deck for him, but I was putting them one by one as, wanted to try to kind of, put this stuff forward. And then his buddy bopped in and put all his chips on deck because they're obviously the best friends. So he has that leeway to kind of do that, which I was low-key kind of like, thank fucking God. But he was kind of getting at me a little bit too. It's like, so what, you think the U.S. military should have bases there and funding? And I was like, nope. Like, he was like almost interrogating me for a second because I was being cordial with his Jewish friend. And it's like, I mean, obviously you're his best friend, so it's like, I mean, I'm on your side, really, at the end of the day when it comes to, like, take by take, so to speak. I mean, all in all, so it's like, don't be getting at me, bro. If anything, I really admire the passion, and his buddy willing to kind of take the heat. Like, yeah, I will respect him for that. Like, his buddy was like willing to kind of take the heat a little bit because I was kind of being like the mitigator while his friend was just like, but yeah, everyone knows you are. Everyone knows you're Jewish and this and that. No one gives a fuck. This whole Zionist thing. The 18,000 children. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he kept going on. And I was like, oh, cooking, bro. Cooking. And then his friend's like, look, yeah, I know. You're my friend. So I get it. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he was always kind of downplaying. It's like, it's like, I respect you a little bit because you're actually chill with me, but like, fuck, dude. Like, it's getting to a point where I don't want to be cordial with it anymore. It's like, dude, quit being a weasel about it. Not to him specifically, but when it comes to that, like this weird, like, liberal Zionist idea or whatever, it's like, quit being a fucking weasel. Like, be a bloodthirsty warmonger if that's who you are, or fucking, advocate for ceasefire ending this bloodshed. Who gives a fuck who started it? Who gives a shit anymore? I could give a fuck anymore at this rate. Just stop this bloodshed. But no one wants to give a fuck about that. They always want to, like, talk about, like, oh, the beheaded kids, all sort of bullshit. Like the fucking, or like the concert that got, attacked or whatever. Like all this shit. They always want to bring that stuff over and over and over and over again. It's like, it's literally damn near almost been a year. It's getting, we're like, like what, 4 or 5 fucking months away for that being damn near a year since this happened. And it's like, they still want to fucking freak out about it. It's like, shut up. Who gives a fuck anymore? Can we move on? Yeah, it was horrible, but you ain't going to be winning, hearts and minds by bitching about it over and over again like a fucking petulant child. It's like, God. Because how many Palestinian civilians have died, because of that fucking shit? And none of their fucking, concerns, or none of, the cry about, like, what about them kind of thing. Because there's been plenty, because even for these more liberal-leaning Zionists, and they're willing to say, like, yeah, the civilians have been caught in a muck, and that's unfortunate, but they never really, go beyond that, ever. They're never willing to do that. It's like, fucking own your shit. It's like, be the weird far-right fascist type, or just, like, be on the right side of history or some shit, like, for fuck's sake. Because it's ridiculous. It's gone to the point where it's just beyond, like, or not. It's been beyond that. So a burp. Got a burp. Dude, I could literally tell that crow got fucking muscle, dude. Dude, this crow is a gym bro. That's a gym bro crow, dude. That crow is straight a gym bro. Dude, I've never seen a crow that actually straight up has got, like, borderline muscle tone, dude. This crow, like, you can see damn near muscle tone in this crow's feathers. That's a gym bro of a crow. Damn, bro. That's a gym bro. What the fuck? That's a gym... that's a crow? That'd be a gym bro. Damn, dude. Honestly, I want to say that's a gym crow, but then I was like, wait a minute. That was in my mind for a second. I was like, wait, no. Rephrase that. A crow who's a gym bro. Rephrase it as that. Because if I'm like, that's a gym... Dude, like, it was out of context, that would be bad. I had to correct myself. I wanted at least to point it out because it was a little funny. But it is a gym bro, though. This bird could be a spotter. Dude, this bird can straight up, like... This bird could be a construction bird. Good call. I mean, that's why, I'm putting, light to it, because, hey, I kind of recognize that out of context it'd probably look bad. I was like, let's try to rephrase that a little bit. I actually almost went with it, but I was like, wait a minute, abort that. Because I just knew, yeah, wait a minute. Historical context reasons, I'm not gonna... But yeah. Dude, that crow, though, straight up got fucking, like, some muscle. Dude, I bet that beak is probably, like, twice as strong as the average crow beak, too. And also, like, the crows around here are actually been kind of getting chill enough with me to where, like, if I happen to be, like, walking home and they are perched up in one of these little trees, that they'll just kind of chill there and be like, they'll kind of be like, wait a minute, oh shit, because I'll look up and see them there, but they don't quite leave yet. They'll be like, wait a minute, oh shit. But they'll just kind of see me walk by, but if I stay there and just look at them, then they'll fly off, but if I just kind of keep doing my thing, then they'll stay there for a minute and be like, ooh, you noticed me. But the crows lately around here have actually kind of starting to get a little more chill with me. And, like, they notice that when I toss peanuts out for them, that, if I'm far enough away, like, they'll just swoop down and pick them up, at least, one or two of them and then fly off. But I have to be, like, literally 20 feet away. I have to chuck them. And chuck them into the street, and then they'll go down and swoop in and grab them. But, if I just chuck them in the yard and they're, like, 10 feet away from me, like, they'll never do that. At least not yet. They're getting there, though. The scrub jays and the stellar jays, though, I mean, they don't give a fuck. Dude, those little birds, dude, those little reptile, little dinosaur motherfuckers, they're so much to the point that they are curious as fuck about me now. Like, if they hear me with crinkling my, bag of peanuts, dude, there'll at least be one or two scrub jays, and if they happen to not be around, it'll be a stellar jay or two that's in the area, and they'll be like, oh, what's up? And they'll be, like, flying and perching around and, like, be, like, 10 feet away from me. There's been a few times I've done my coffee streams where I'll do that little, toss the peanuts out routine. And I'll be like, oh, shit. And I'll, like, get the camera on one of those scrub jays because they're, like, 10 feet away from me. It's like, those little... But I swear to God, I'm, like, maybe one more, like, season away a little bit from, like, having those motherfuckers, like, land on my arm, eating nuts out of my hand or some shit, bro. I'm gonna literally be a Disney princess, given enough time. The squirrels are kind of chill, too, a little bit, but they haven't really been coming around as much. They've been around, but not when I happen to be there, so, I just happen to notice that they make their rounds occasionally. That's it. So I don't really know if they can kind of connect the two. At least, considering that I haven't really seen them that much lately. I mean, they've been around, but it's not as much. I don't know if they, like, moved on from other places, because I know my neighbors have, like, little gardens and, like, a small, farm, at least with my next door neighbor, because they got, like, corn stalks, all sort of shit going on and everything else. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, that's been growing and all sort of shit, too. I just noticed one of my neighbors right down the street is growing pumpkins on the side of their fucking, on the side of their, front yard right next to the sidewalk. Like all these, vines that are growing damn near over the sidewalk a little bit, and these little pumpkins are starting to grow out of them. I'm just like, oh shit, got some grown pumpkins here. It's like, that's pretty cool. Got little pumpkin vines growing. There's no way this isn't true. J.K. Rowling is the one stealing all your socks. She eats them. She sounds like the weird goblin that would do that. She sounds like a little weird goblin, gremlin freak that would do shit like that. So even if there's no real evidence, to back that up, I'm just gonna believe it.
By people earlier.
All right, fuck you, son. I love you, but I want to hear more about this Most Critical drama.
Hate you or not, okay? Depending on whether they hate you or not, it literally turns into like, I don't even believe you. Because there was hella people that were like, I don't believe you, dog. You wanted to kill yourself. You had a gun in your mouth.
Apparently, and I didn't know this until I posted the video, everyone was under the impression that I was quitting the internet. So I started scratching at the hair on my chinny chin, wondering, when the f*** did that happen? Was I sleepwalking? Do I have somnambulism? Is this some kind of, Fight Club situation? But instead of, Tyler Durden, I have Charles Turden here that's just making these wrong announcements. It turns out the patient zero behind all of this was a post Jackson made announcing that I would be leaving the podcasts, which is something I thought about periodically for quite a few months now.
You just look at her and think, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, pretty much.
Mainly because I started to recognize that I was becoming the very thing I'd make fun of with being chronically online. I just was always online.
And her favorite form of sock that she loves to eat is the cum sock, by the way.
And the podcasts were a big proponent of that, and I just kind of wanted to scale back the amount of time I spend online. So then I kept Jackson in the loop the whole time here about where my head was at. And last week I told him, hey man, I think this is going to be where I hang up the jersey. You can put it in the rafters, throw it in the dumpster, but I think I'm just going to be, sailing off into the sunset.
So I guess everyone literally thought he was retiring from the internet because he wanted to part ways with a podcast just due to being kind of overwhelmed with a lot of just being on the internet in general. Fair enough, honestly. That's actually a pretty fair thing, and considering Moist Critical and his own monetary yearly / monthly income and stuff, for how popular or well known he is. Shit like that. I mean, I think if there was a little loss in that, for something like this, I don't think he would mind, because obviously, it seems like he's fairly comfortable, succeed. He's already kind of made it in his mind, he's got no real reason to try to overwhelm himself, right? So, if anything, he's just doing a legit, very healthy approach, when it comes to something like that, that's already kind of made it, basically. It's just let's just take a step back for a second. And it's not like I'm going away. I'm just gonna take a step back from some certain projects and just keep doing the core thing a little bit, So it's honestly a very respectable thing, and just kind of shows how genuine and honest he is, and when it comes to this stuff. So
here and just reducing the amount of stuff I do online, which he completely.
All right, well, hey, my assumption was right. It's pretty much hey, I just want to try to minimize my terminal online presence, basically. Because, Most Critical is pretty active, all the time when it comes to being on the internet. When he streams, he uploads at least 2, maybe 3 videos a day. Once in a blue moon, he sometimes does 4, occasionally, if there's just enough shit going on where he's yo, I gotta talk about this. So, he's always, doing shit. He's got the podcast stuff, so it's just one of those things where he probably just feels I'm not spending enough time touching grass, so to speak, and I need to, do more of that, instead of spending all this time being online, basically, which is totally understandable.
Understood. So he made the announcement just letting people know that, and then that got spun on Twitter and Reddit as Voice Critical's taking an indefinite hiatus and quitting the internet, fundamentally. Don't know when I'll be back. He's done with the internet because of all this controversy. Patooey on his grave. He's gone. When looking at the post, I don't even know where that's coming from. It's literally just talking about the podcast and me just stepping away.
I think it's just because some people just want to spin a narrative, and that got kind of out of hand a little bit, and everyone's just and they kind of went with that. That's what it sounds like to me. It kind of reminds me of when DFF, the guys from DFF split with DP, where there's this whole narrative oh, they hate each other and all this and that and blah blah blah, and what all this other shit, right? And even in the very first, like the pilot Tim Allen episode on DFF, like pretty much a lot of people were like, oh, this is never going to work. This is a bunch of bullshit. This will never kick off. Y'all fucked up, blah, blah, blah. And obviously now look at it. And actually, Rose, yo, bro, have you heard? Ben, straight up, Ben from DP, fucking reconnected with Paul last night on stream. Like, on my way to the karaoke bar last night, I was listening to Paul's stream and stuff because he happened to stream like shortly after I left. And eventually, Ben popped in on a stream. And then Paul's like, you know what, yo, I'm gonna, like, eventually at some point, he ended that and had a, 2.5 hour fucking stream talking with him last night. And it's like, whoa, like, it fucking blew my goddamn mind, bro. Really? Yes! Yeah, bro. Hold up. We're not gonna, look at it yet, but here, dude. Yeah, here, it's in my view history. Here, literally, it's his, stream, it's just, right here. It's just called Ben. But yeah. Dude, it was such a wild thing because, honestly, a lot of this, weird air of, oh, are they just never gonna have, a reunification show or something, I think that might honestly be a thing, bro. Paul's, clarifying with Ben, every now and then, it's I can't speak for the other guys, but honestly, it's there's no animosity with me, there's no bad water, in the river with us. We're homies, bro, as far as we care. It's hey, business was business, shit happened, but you know what? Hey, it's all good. What was it about? All sorts of things, honestly. They kind of reminisce about, different shit, frankly. I mean, honestly, dude, it's a lot of different things that they were talking about. Because this one here, Lou, was the one that, he happened to tune into. Ben popped in, an hour into this stream. And then eventually, they were like, yo, want to just call in? And they did, and that stream happened. And on my way home, after karaoke was over last night, when I ended my stream, for the karaoke stream, I was like, I just happened to pull up, my earbud, talking to my friend Tyler. And all of a sudden, the first thing that showed up was this. I was like, I popped to my friend Tyler. I was like, yo, Paul Siegel's talking with Ben from Drunken Peasants. This first time in 8 years. I was like, yo, dude, I gotta hear what they're talking about. Holy shit, bro. And they were reminiscent. I think at the time when I tuned in live, it was near the end of it, and I think they were talking a little bit of politics, a little bit, but not that much. But because if anything, they were, like I said, they were going through all sorts of different topics to the point where it's it's kind of hard to say what it was about because it's just all sorts of different things. I mean, it was just such a wild, weird stream in a way, instead of it being awesome and good, because it just kind of proves that, there was never, maybe there might have been, maybe in the first year or two, after the split, but at this point, it's all water under the bridge. And also, what I found out, at the last meetup that DFF did, with the Las Vegas meetup, Ben was invited. Paul never made that invitation. It was either TJ or Scotty who made that invitation, but at least from what Ben said, he said that I don't know if I'd feel comfortable being there. Considering that we haven't really made an official kind of hey, how you doing kind of thing and shit. So it's it was never really established yet, so he never felt comfortable going there. So he never responded or anything, but he did get an invitation, probably either by TJ or Scotty, probably TJ. And, because Paul had nothing to do with that, but, Ben told him that, and he was like, well, that was probably either TJ or Scotty then. Because, if there's no hot water, so to speak, with them, if they're doing that, then, and there's no hot water in me, then, hey. It's if anything, that show, you know what? Do you think the Manatee Gauntlet might be back in the fucking shit? But weirdly enough, with a DP reunification, a DP DFF reunification app, but it's all about like, just going on the manatee and shit or whatever, just for old time's sake, just one episode. Because Paul was amping it up a little bit with that. I will say that off and on, Paul was talking about that as a reoccurring theme, in that stream. It was like, we should do that. Because even Ben was kind of into that idea. It was like, we should. So, I don't know. It's like, even Paul was playing up the idea. It's like, we don't tell anyone, but let's like have me pop on DP, but just being like, what's up, you fucking Philly, you little bitch, boy? What's up with this fucking feeling obscure bullshit podcast? Like just kind of being, like just throwing hot shade out of nowhere. Like he wanted to kind of amp it up and put some spice a little bit. So I think, a reunification idea, or at least Paul being on DP is, I think, a very strong idea that's going to probably happen here pretty soon. Also, apparently I found out Billy, the Fridge, he had released a new album, which I did not know about. So that's also a new thing that I now found out about, which I gotta listen to that shit. So it was awesome. It was kind of wild to listen to it. I was actually listening to a little bit of it last night when I streamed after the karaoke night. But I mean, we didn't really get too deep into it anyway. But I was listening to more of it, afterwards, and it kind of threw me for a loop. I was just like, whoa, this almost weirdly feels like, like some nostalgia, because it was Paul and Ben for a minute. They did some old manatee reactions. They reacted to the manatee for a little bit. And they were reacting to a few other things. I mean, they were going to some, like, so it was almost like straight nostalgia, almost. Like, some, like, almost some DP shit, but a weird throwback, but it's not a throwback almost. I don't even know how to explain. You just gotta watch it. Just watch that stream. On your own time, just check it out. Because, dude, it's kind of a weird mind fuck. Because, like, a lot of people thought that they would never talk to each other again, kind of thing. Not just with Paul or Ben, but just like with Ben and the DFF guys, basically, at this point. And, but I think just because there's such an overlap between the communities and all sort of shit, I think whatever animosity would have been there, it's one of those things where it was never going to last, I think. And I think, all of them recognize that. There was definitely certain business, differences and vision differences and shit like that played a role, from what, is definitely confirmed at this point, especially after all this stuff. It's always been an assumption, but that's kind of what it was. And at least I know what a major factor of what that was the apocalypse on YouTube. One major role that played to the ultimate, or at least one of the penultimate divisions, was that. Not the, nail in the coffin, but it was like one of the nails that, started making the coffin, basically. And everything else eventually kind of fell into place, sadly, in a way. But, it's not really necessarily too sadly, I guess, because, both shows are still successful. They're all doing their own thing. There's no animosity between any of them anymore, if there was any in the first place, which, at least Paul and Ben say, there probably was initially, but, whatever it was, and whatever that, how long that phase might have lasted between you or me or whatever, like, who gives a fuck? That's how they feel about it now. Like, whatever animosity was there, it ain't there anymore, so who gives a shit? It's all water under the bridge, which, honestly, I'm kind of glad with. I'm happy that that is the case, because I've always wanted to at least, kind of have, like, almost that reassurance and kind of, like, closure almost of, like, everything's all good, and to kind of see that stream and see them talking, for like 2.5 hours and shit. Well, honestly, really like 3 hours, because, Ben was in Paul's chat for like at least an hour in that other stream he was doing. And, to kind of see like, kind of almost a weird closure, but also kind of a new chapter in a sense, when it comes to that, it's nice. I love it. It's like, it's like literally one of those like happy ending, like, oh, things can be happy after all. Kind of, it really feels that way in a way. Because, it's like whatever, their adventures end up being, even if they are different, seems like shit's alright. I like that. I love it though. It's good shit. Maybe the rip from the hydrogen collider is finally repairing itself. Maybe it is, dude. Maybe it's finally. You know, maybe it's so slowly, you know, but surely, step by step. Maybe it's just it's a butterfly effect, bro. Maybe how that happens is it starts with the smallest of steps. Maybe that's why Mamala is fucking, you know, being Mamala, coconut tree mommy. You know, that's why we got that going on right now, bro. Shit's starting to repair itself. Is that what's happening? Dude, you might fucking know. Is that what's happening? The rip is now repairing itself. Slowly but surely. One small step for man type of shit. Like, oh, fuck, bro. It might be. I don't, maybe it's an anomaly. We'll grant this. Maybe it's an anomaly. Not to be a cynic about, but maybe it is. But this could be a start of a trend. Please let it be a trend. Please. Maybe it can repair itself, so then the Bernstein universe, you know, will, you know, fucking go away. So we have the Bernstein universe, bro. We need it. It needs to be repaired. But maybe it actually is finally.
Like, it's not. It doesn't extend beyond that. I can't even wrap my tiny noodle around how anyone could perceive this as me being done with.
Isn't this podcast the reaction of a Turkish dude living in Germany calling you a pedophile one time? I don't know. I don't even know how to access Moist Critical's podcast. I do know that one of his homies that he has on his podcast, I think. I don't know if he's like he's on it all the time or not, but he hates me, the Turkish dude. He hates me. His name is Kaya. Yeah. Like he's weird. I like Charlie. I think he's a nice person. You know, we don't always agree on stuff. Sometimes I feel like he just leans in a little bit too much to the centrist stuff. But overall, one of his homies hates me, which is weird because he's Turkish. Kaya's also said a lot of pedo and incel shit in the past week. Wait, you mean to tell me another guy who just hates me and has called me a pedophile has...
At the same time, Bernie Sanders said he has a heart attack. Well, he had, like, you know, a stent put in his brain. So, I mean, it's not like he's immune to health issues. Like, I mean, that wouldn't necessarily shock me, to be honest, at this point, considering his age and stuff. I love the man. I mean, what flaws and all, I'll grant that. But, I mean, that wouldn't really surprise me if that happened. I'd feel sad. I'd be like, oh. You know, even with the flaws of Bernie Sanders, at least the legacy about that motherfucker is, like, going to outlast and overshadow whatever flaws he ever had. Okay? So, you know, if that ended up, you know, being the thing that took him, at least he had a fucking, like, goddamn amazing run in life and fucking inspired not just a generation, but kind of, if you think about it, kind of multiple generations, because he was a part of the fucking civil rights movement, got arrested, we got the infamous picture of him, you know, smiling, being escorted away by cops and shit. You know, it's like, I mean, so he had a fucking run that, you know, is fucking, like, goddamn, you know, kind of some fucking A shit, alright? You know, so, you know, I mean, all in all, you know, you might not really have the Gutzpah as much anymore, but, like, fuck, dude. He put it out there. He was a dude who fundamentally gave a shit. And, you know, still does. I mean, granted, he doesn't have the energy as he used to, but, you know, he's still a guy that gives a fuck. At least still has this, druthers about him. And all other shit. Like, you know, he's a dude that actually, you know, like, you can at least look up to be like, alright, you know, whatever flaws he might have, you know, maybe being more soft about things like Israel, stuff like that, blah, 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 etc., etc. You know, like, not being as, you know, bullish about, like, the DNC and caving, yada, yada, etc., etc. It's like, despite all that, it's like, I mean, a lot of his legacy, especially with his history as, you know, a politician and as an activist, like, I think it really does overshadow a lot of that. I mean, because he really does got, like, you know, the energy and the chutzpah, but he just doesn't have the youth to, you know, keep that up anymore. That's why other people need to kind of take that mantle. You know, it's like, we can't just rely on him all the time. He had his time. He had his place. I mean, he's still out there kicking it and shit, you know, but he can't be the only thing that we look up to be like, oh, our savior. Like, we can't do it anymore, you know? I love the man, but, he had his moment, like, but we need to use that as an inspiration to get other motherfuckers that are a lot more spry and youthful, if anything, just as radical, if not more so, than him.
Dead pedophilic things.
Cool. Cool, son. Here, I want to get more into because obviously there's a little more to this than, this weird idea of him retiring, I'm assuming.
They take it off of Twitter because they think everyone is actually watching it there. Everyone's talking about this and start doing commentary on it. Then it becomes a real story because now actual real people are talking about it.
That I hadn't made a video within like the first 20 minutes of it dropping. And then when I did finally finish the full video covering all of it, it was another massive problem where now I only did it out of an obligation because people called me out. And then I also got accused of being a transphobe because I didn't use Ava Tyson's preferred pronouns, which were she, her. I didn't know that. I thought just calling Ava Tyson by her name was okay. And I had also heard when I went to the Mr. Beast thing.
I mean, when Ava Tyson, yeah, like, that's totally fine. Who the fuck would say that it's transphobic to call a trans person by their name? If their preferred name is Ava Tyson, and she, her is the pronouns, like, even if you don't really know the pronouns, if you at least know what their preferred name is, that's at least good enough. It's not like you're dead naming them at that point, or at least trying to be an asshole. You're like, all right, at least know their name. I don't know what their pronouns are. I know they're trans. But hey, at least I know their name, so I'll just call them by their name. Because there's plenty of people that, yeah, maybe, you might not realize they might be trans or not, or whatever. So it's just, the best way to do it is just really just use the more neutral pronoun things like they, them, their, etc., or just call them by their name. Simple as. Because, if they say, oh, just by the way, my pronouns are so-and-so, there's nothing wrong with that. And honestly, I would assume Moist would be pretty much the same way about that. I would be, because, honestly, there's, some people that I talk to where I'm like, don't know if you're trans or not, but I'll just call you by your name and at least just use more neutral pronouns and stuff, at least until I actually know that. But, unless I'm actually talking with that person and getting acquainted or maybe being their friend or something, chances are I'm probably not going to know that information unless I hear from the grapevine from somebody else or whatever. And if that's the case, then, hey, I'll at least make sure I keep that in mind, when I actually talk to that person next time or whatever, right? So there's nothing wrong with not knowing one's pronouns. There shouldn't be. It's like, you shouldn't have to, immediately assume, be like, well, yeah, you're so-and-so, so your pronouns are so, and this and this. It's like, not all the time. Some people got different pronouns that they, prefer to go by. Even if they might present a certain way. Non-binary folk exist, trans people that might not post as female or male or whatever the fuck, might, prefer to go by, those type of pronouns or whatever, and don't inherently present, by those traditional norms of what those pronouns present as. So you might have, more of a feminine, trans man that exists that still looks female in nature or whatever the fuck, and you might have a trans woman that still looks somewhat masculine in nature because they're a biological view or whatever the fuck. But who cares? It shouldn't have to matter. And that's why that's why, at least, when it comes down to shit, how is this even a problem? Are people really trying to, fucking, whip up some bullshit out of Moist Critical because he didn't know the pronouns of a trans person, but is at least, respecting their name? That's the barest minimal they can at least ask for from somebody. And honestly, that's just the most basic thing, period. It's like, oh, your name's Jack? Well, guess what? Your name's John now. It's like, no, it's not. It's like, even if you don't know one's pronouns or something like that, you can't really, dead name someone if you don't know what that name is, unless you're just trying to be a dick and be like, oh, your name's, Elizabeth? Well, no, it's actually, Ezekiel, sir. It's like, unless you're just purposely trying to be a dick, it's because of maybe some certain, social, traditional standards, that might be applied with someone who might be trans and shit, that, might be kind of a little overt, even though they're obviously presenting a certain way. It's like, unless you're just being an overt asshole about shit like that, then what's the problem? I mean, as long as you're just respecting who they are as, a human being and just calling them by their name at the very minimal, even if you don't know their pronouns, what the fuck is the problem? What's the deal? It's so weird. Because even, there's the idea of accidentally misgendering shit. It happens. I've done it before. Actually, one of the stories I like to talk about when I, was learning about, like, what being non-binary is, for example, was actually a story like that, where I accidentally misgendered a non-binary person because, they, looked more female presenting. I knew their name and just called them by that the entire time. But for a while, I assumed they were she, so to speak, because of, of how they presented. But, when I was mentioning to my buddy, like, oh, she's kind of a cool person, they were like, oh, hey, it's actually this, say them, but hey, it's all cool. We never actually, established that, so whatever, it's all fine. And I just mentioned, it's like, well, hey, actually, I don't know much about that. I know what it is in a way, as a name, as a concept, but I actually don't know much about that. So I'm just kind of curious about it. If you don't mind asking, they, them, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they were totally legit, actually kind of ecstatic, be like, oh, cool. I can tell people about, like, what this is because they don't know about it. And, we can kind of have a little back and forth, in a sense of, like, educating, me and my buddy about it because we didn't know anything about that outside of, like, the internet, like, oh yeah, some trans folk are sometimes non-binary or something, or whatever. It's like, it was pretty, kind of like an ignorant idea about, like, what it is, even though we're not, like, phobic about it, obviously. We just didn't know much about it because we ignorant. Like the Michael Jackson South Park guy, it's like, you just be ignorant, it's okay. We just were about it, but that's okay. Because we learned about it, and that was a really fun experience. Because we were having a couple drinks at, at FurryCon, just chatting it up, having a good time. We were literally talking for like an hour before that conversation and that topic even got brought up in the first place. So, we were all just vibing. It was all a good time, It's like, and, I bet they also, had a pretty fun experience and a positive, outcome out of it too. And also, hey, shocker, that whole contact theory I was talking about, that's a, example of that working on someone like me. Just saying. It's not like it's not like it's impossible. Another anecdote about that, by the way, but, just saying. It's like, I mean, because I, if anything, I use that anecdote for myself to be like, hey, no one's going to get, like, freaked the fuck out because you don't necessarily know someone's pronouns. I mean, if you happen to accidentally misgender or, if you assume and you happen to get it right, or whatever, then no one's got a problem with it. But if you accidentally do it, then it's like, hey, here's a quick correction. I get it. It wasn't established or anything, whatever. It's, I don't really necessarily think it has to be, but, hey, if it gets brought up, then, the quick little correction and all, it's good. I mean, as long as they're being respectful about it, no one cares. I mean, sometimes they might accidentally do it again here and there, after the fact. Even with the story I was talking about, I've done that a few times unintentionally, just because a part of the context of the story is like, me quoting, or maybe it was my friend, one of the two, like saying, hey, she's pretty cool when it came to that context of the story. So sometimes that overlaps with it a little bit. But again, it's an unintentional thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's when you're being a full-on fucking dick and just straight up bigot about it. And obviously, Most Critical ain't that. I don't even understand how anyone could whip up Most Critical's thing about calling Ava Tyson when that's her preferred name, and he didn't know the pronouns. Like, who gives a shit? It's not, like, how's that a problem? So bunk, dude. It's so weird to me. Because now that I kind of get this shit more, especially with my own experiences and all this stuff, I just find shit like this so weird now. Like, I really get the hyper obsession about conservatives now because, like, they just can't get it and they are so weirdly obsessed about this shit. It all comes down to their weird fucking bunk asses making it a problem. Because honestly, if you break it down, it ain't an issue. It's not a problem. No one cares. So, as they're not being a weird bigot like these conservatives or whatever, no one cares. Even if you accidentally slip up or fuck up a little bit here and there, no one gives a shit. As long as you're just not being a fucking dick or purposely doing it. It's pretty much all it comes down to. It's shocker, it comes down to basic human respect.
Someone referred to Ava Tyson with they. So I was truly under the impression that that was okay. And for that, I was annihilated by a good chunk of Twitter. And then annihilated by another good chunk of Twitter because I called out Sneeko, who was the main proponent, about me covering for Mr. Beast to keep the collab alive.
I remember people...
Huh. So now, like, a bunch of weird right-wingers are freaking out because he called out Sneeko. And knowing Sneeko, I mean, he's a freak, dude. Like, that dude is literally like, hey, if, a 12-year-old is in puberty and stuff and, they're fertile, that's okay. It's consent, bro. Like, he's a freak, dude. Like, straight freak.
Roast you about it, then later on admitting in stream that his social battery was running out, that he was feeling burnout law. That's awesome.
I wasn't talking about Ava Tyson because I wanted the Mr. Beast collab. And I talked about how absurd that statement was, especially given his history with fighting against the age of consent. He's been very vocal about how much he hates the age of consent, and so I talked about that briefly at the end of the video.
Why? Who's willing to stand on that hill? Fuck age of consent! Who else but Sneeko is gonna die on that hill? Outside of literal PDF files. Which, hey, I wonder what Sneeko is. It's like, Cause, what the fuck, bro? Like, even for me, like, with certain European countries having, like, the age of consent being, like, 16, like, to me, that's like, like, I mean, unless it's like some Romeo and Juliet shit, like which Oregon has, like let's say for example, you have like a senior who's 17, and then you have like a sophomore and they're dating, and that sophomore is 15 years old, and then their birthdays come up, and then obviously that senior graduates, but that sophomore becomes a junior. And sophomores now, and that junior is now 16, and that graduated senior is 18. They've been dating for like since junior freshman year or whatever, dating for a while. Like there's exceptions in a way, and that stuff I think is fine. If you got like an 18-year-old that's dating a 17-year-old because they've been like high school love buddies, or something like that for a few years, and one of them graduated and the other one hasn't yet, because they're a year or two apart. I mean that there's something wrong with that. I mean, Oregon's already had that law established for a long time, and I think that is okay. But there needs to be a certain leeway, like a 3-year, at maximum 4-year difference, but is only under certain circumstances, like that. If they're within like kind of the high school year, like they known each other at high school kind of stuff, and also parental consent thing too. Like the parents also have to agree, like, yeah, it's fine. Both sides, as well. Not just the parents of the adult, kid, but also the ones that, the parents of the kid that's still in high school. Both of them have to be okay with it too. And that's kind of the whole idea of the premise of the Romeo and Juliet law, is to say that, like, yeah, we as parents are okay with our kids still dating, even though one of them's technically an adult and out of high school, and the other one isn't yet. Which, I'm okay with that. I don't really see a problem with that. I mean, it just needs to be like within a 3-year metric or some shit. Come through, the buddy be prepared. I'm not really prepared, honestly, dude. Fuck me, dude. God damn it. I hope Zukov just stays asleep and passed out. Andrew Tate wept. Andrew Tate wept.
Which then changed the whole narrative for a lot.
And he filled up nothing more than
people, where I never talked about Ava Tyson and only talked about Sneeko. So it was a complete lose-lose, because if I didn't talk about what Sneeko was saying, I would have been called a coward for not addressing it and talking about, like, well, he was going to cover for Mr. Beast until Sneeko called him out. So, like, if I didn't do it, I would have been attacked. I did do it, still got attacked. It really was unwinnable. But from that, spawned a conversation where I talked to Sneeko directly because he was very upset that I was talking about how him rallying against the age of consent is pedophile arguments, like defending pedophilia. As I've said, since
I mean, Sneeko's literally doing that. He literally is.
the very beginning of this channel, I'm always willing to engage with people I disagree with.
He used they them pronouns in an attempt not to misgender her. Specifically, he didn't use he him. He doesn't clarify that very well here. Remember, like for a lot of normies, like trans stuff is difficult to parse through. It's not that simple. Even I fuck up sometimes, and I'm like, you know, I've been with it. I've been with the shits for quite some time.
And I thought
Shit, even I admit to that.
That maybe there was a chance I misunderstood what he was trying to say, even though it's still abhorrent. I thought, okay, maybe he's not actually trying to defend pedophilia. He's like some kind of pseudo-intellectual debate bro who's trying to say something else. So I was willing to hear him out on it, and I talked to him in DMs, and he said he doesn't believe in the age of consent. He believes in the age of marriage, can't assign a number to it, but said that when someone can legally drive, they should be able to marry at the same...
What? So if you could get a driver's license at 16, you should legally be able to get married. What the fuck? No! Freak? What the hell?
Like a 15 or 16...
Wait, what? As Muslims, we believe it's our duty to follow the law of the land? Bro.
Hardram. Ishadra ukhardra. That is haram. I'm not even... I don't even care. I just literally became a Muslim for like 2 seconds just to say that's fucking haram. Ugh.
Oh my god, this whole thing he's Muslim is so annoying, bro.
Dude, I hate that Sneeko is because he's such a weird freak about it. He's like, I literally wish I could be like Muhammad and date like Aisha herself, myself. Like, I wish I could go back in time and like take Aisha from Muhammad himself. Basically, like he's like Sneeko's a fucking weird freak, dude.
Swear to God. Dude, I hate adult reverts who, especially on the influencer side, act like they are converting for content, specifically participate in the discourse as the most memed out version of Islam. Okay? I hate these LARPers. Oh my God. And you know what I hate? Even as much as these LARPers, all the dumb Muslims living in diaspora who eat that shit up, who also are like so incredibly reactionary.
I mean, especially considering that like a lot of, especially American Muslims, tend to be pretty progressive as fuck. You know, like, I mean, yeah, they kind of put a bad name on like Muslims. You already got like these fucking weird, horrible extremist organizations and groups and terrorists, you know, shit like that exists. That you got like Americans who are like, yeah, you know, whatever the fuck, you know. It's like, I mean, dude, especially back in the Iraq War and shit. Oh my fucking God, the weird shit that would be said would be wild. Like insane wild shit. I mean, so it's like, come on. I mean, like these weird fucks, bro, are just. I mean, like these, like, oh, I recently converted, and like whether they happen to be Catholic, Muslim, or like Orthodox Christian, like, dude, they always end up being the most far right, weird fucking freaks to ever exist, bro. Like straight up, dude. Like all of them.
Also lean into that shit. And it makes me so unimaginably mad because you are basically playing a minstrel show for some of the most right-wing shitheads to point to you and go, look at these barbaric monkeys who believe in all of the worst shit. The white Christians also believe that same shit, mind you, but they can still point to you and turn around and go, all of you Muslims are like this, okay? I hate that shit so much. I hate it. Okay? So part of the reason why I also openly will tell you all the time that I am Muslim. Okay? And a lot of dumb Muslim dudes on TikTok and shit don't see it. And it pisses me off so much. Bro, they literally think we're all weirdos here. Okay? In the Western world, the understand...
I mean, well, organized religion tends to be kind of weird and bunk when it comes to these extremists anyway. So, I mean... It's understandable. I mean, that's why I at least, you know, look at like an individual and when it comes to their own journey about it and stuff, as long as they're not trying to shove it down everyone else's throat, I could care. I mean, or I could care less, basically. But when it comes to like this weird, like, we need to, like, change how society operates because of my weird foo-foo bullshit, because I need to, like, have a excuse to, like, justify my weird insecurities and putting that on the rest of society. It's like, ugh. Get the fuck out. Ugh, gross.
Islam is so distorted. They do not see it as this religious.
I mean, if that was the case, then pretty much the GOP would not be, a thing anymore. Which, but hey, that's kind of the point.
They think it's all like people who love doing pedophilia and shit. So when you got a psycho who looks at Islam and goes, oh, wow, I am actually Muslim because I'm conservative. I am actually Muslim because I think women should marry at the early age of 15. That shit breaks my mind, okay? Anyway, I say this as someone who, for those of you who don't know, I say this as someone whose name is Hassan, who is Muslim, who grew up in a Muslim country before people go, oh, that white boy is talking shit about Muslims, okay? Most are like, oh, yeah, no, I love Islam. I love doing Sharia law. And it's like, bro, shut up. Shut the up. You grew up in New Jersey or some shit. Like, what the do you mean? You come from a Christian family. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I love Islam because I want to marry children. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck is this shit? What is happening here? So I do hate it. I do especially hate it.
Okay, I'm kind of glad I let this play on a little bit. What the fuck? Jeez. The random shit that he just, like, drops out of nowhere is pretty fucking, like, hilarious sometimes. I will admit, like, his song is a motherfucker when it comes to stun locks, but every now and then he'll drop a thing every now and then where it's like, shit, dude.
Who are actually genuine Muslims themselves, who get very excited at the prospect of a Christian person converting to Islam, who get very excited at, like, an American guy converting to Islam because they love the Quran. That's what happened. Like, they believe it's genuine, and they don't realize how damaging that shit is. Anyway.
Should be able to marry at the
same... Look at this. He's saying it. As Muslims, we believe it is our duty to follow the law of the land at the age of 15. I hate that.
Which, what the fuck does that even mean anyway? Some weird pseudo-intellectual esoteric nonsense.
Which is literally like a 15 or 16-year-old, because you get your permit at 15, your license at 16, and both are way too young to be marrying. That shit is completely unacceptable. It is downright disgusting. He then said that he was happy to discuss it in a call, which I said I was willing to hear him out on, and he said that he would do it later because he was outside doing an IRL stream in Turkey. So, I was willing to hear him out, because again, if this is some kind of crazy misunderstanding, I'd like to know that, because it'd be really scary for someone in his position with his level of influence to be actually advocating for adults marrying and children. That's a huge problem. That's a big problem. So if there was something that he was, like, trying to say but failing to do so, I was willing to at least hear it. And this is where the infamous debate came from, the debate that people are calling the debate of the century. I'm kidding, not a single soul on the planet said that. It's actually one of the most dogshit debates I think human beings have ever had. He eventually called me...
That's a hard metric to reach. There's been plenty of them that have been just bunk trash garbage, bro.
On Discord, I was under the impression this was just him and I talking. I had no idea this was going to be a debate. I thought he was going to try and explain himself like, hey, no, this isn't actually what I meant. This is what I'm trying to say. I thought this was a conversation between him and I, not this kind of debate show that he was putting on for...
I mean, okay, look, Moise, I love you, but this is kind of a weird flaw where you're a little too charitable sometimes, where it's like, bro, it's Sneeko, dude. This motherfucker is a weasel little rat, and a PDF file fuckbag weirdo freak to boot. And also is a little, clout-chasing weasel. Like, of course he's going to be streaming this shit and making it nothing but content bro stuff. Like, that's all he cares about. Like, I mean, I hate to be like, what the fuck do you expect, bro? But what the fuck do you expect, bro? Like, I mean, honestly, it's Sneeko for fuck's sake. I mean, you should have expected that from the get-go.
Audience. There is nothing in our DMs that indicated that's where it was going.
He's not gonna fucking say any of that shit to you. He's a fucking little rat. I mean, what do you expect, man? You expect him to be, like, honest with you from the fucking, surface when it comes to shit? Fuck no, dude. Come on.
He asked if I was going to record it, to which I said, I can if he wants me to, but I was also down to just talk. So I thought maybe he wanted it as a recording to, like, explain to people like, no, he's not actually a pedophile defender or advocating for that kind of thing.
Bro, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? This dude.
Even Sauce fucking, kind of, calling him out about this a little bit. Look, I love Moist. I mean, really. I mean, this is kind of where I'm just like, come on, dude. You're like too much of a sweet boy sometimes. I mean, honestly, it's like a little too much of a sweet boy every now and then. It's like, dude, it's Sneeko we're talking about. This ain't like, some random dude that is trolling you that just like found you on the internet or some shit, or like some live stream guy in your chat that is like trying to like pressure you into the talk and then got in your DMs or something. This isn't like some random dude. Like, I mean, like, come on, bro. I mean, like, I get what he's trying to do. I understand it. I mean, because I honestly really am kind of the same way, but it's like when it comes to certain motherfuckers, like if I, for some ungodly reason, was able to have a talk with Cinco, there ain't no fucking way I would be charitable with that piece of shit. At all. I would be using that as a way to fuck on his ass. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care, like, if his little minions start showing up or whatever. I could give a fuck less. If anything, that would be a fun, time for me, because I'd be like, hey, let's get this little fucker out of here. Bam, bam, bam. Like, I would just have some fun with it, honestly. Like, because, you know what? Monetize the hatred, right? Like, just take advantage of it. So I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't even want those little piece of shit around me anyway, so fuck them. Like, so, I mean, for me, like, there ain't no goddamn way I would ever see that as a charitable fucking, like, conversation or anything with honest merit. If ain't gonna, because I know this little weasel. I know these little fuckers. Like, they're not gonna be honest at all. So why should I, go in there with the same fucking merit? There ain't no fucking reason for it.
Not like this dude is a charlatan. He's a demon. I don't know why you thought that you would just like let him farm you. It makes me so mad. Oh.
It is frustrating. That's not making me mad, but it is frustrating.
That is why he asked. I didn't know it was because it was being streamed. Especially because one of his last DMs was about how he's doing an outside IRL stream and he would call me after. To me, that says when he's done streaming, that's when we'll talk, not as a part of his stream. I didn't know this was...
Well, that's the weasel word bullshit that he's doing. That's what he's doing with you, Moist. He's being a little rat and weasel and saying, well, I'll call you after I'm done being out and about vlogging or whatever. Didn't say anything about ending the stream. So he left that out in the open so he can use that as a way to take advantage of you because you're too much of an honest sweet boy. You can't let the motherfucker use you as a fucking, dog mat or like a fucking doormat, bro. Don't do that shit. Don't let him use that. Don't let him do that to you.
Debate nor a stream until about an hour and 40 into it, roughly somewhere in that ballpark. I am not a debater.
I need to fly back down to Florida to cook his ass in the courts again, dude. That's what I need to do.
I never claimed.
Oh shit. Oh, Hassan's challenged him in the fucking hoop courts, bro. Oh shit.
I never want to be a debater. I've always said that I believe conversations are the most...
What, you don't want to be a master debater? Oh.
Productive, because debates always devolve into what side can score the most points by explaining their thought process.
It's just like...
Fucking true, dude. Yep, that's honestly what, like, debates have, like, become now. And, frankly, if I were ever to, like, have a conversation with any of these people, politically or otherwise, I would not want it to be a debate. Even if there's contention with things, to me, it's a conversation. And if weird little fucks want to weave it as debate, well, they're fucking brain rotted. Like, legit. They're just fucking, literally been amalgamated by nothing but pure brain rot. So, that ain't my problem. Like, as far as I'm concerned, fuck this weird debate bullshit. It has its place, but it's been rotted to its core, at least on the online sphere of things. And I'm just... bleh. Let's begin with here now. Let's kind of skip this on a little bit. Just kind of speed up the process.
He both is I guess, Muslim. I didn't even know that. While also simultaneously is a Nazi. Like, why is anybody having a conversation with this guy? I just don't understand it.
Even if the position is wrong. Whereas a conversation is a very different thing to me. So I didn't even know that's what this was. So obviously, I was unprepared for a debate. So I entered into the Thunderdome and we started talking. I made it clear that I found his statements on the age of consent and children marrying adults being hideous. Absolutely revolting. And then he started arguing about, well, what is a child? We must define a child, it's not actually...
Anyone who is not legally defined as an adult who has not gone through puberty nor has completed puberty. For the most part, basically. So literally anyone who's 18 and over, pretty much. There you go. Boom.
Being under 18, it's all a bunch of hooey. And I really think if you have to start arguing about, well, what technically is a child, you're already way too far gone. Like, that is so weird. And in no uncertain terms...
And insane.
Multiple times throughout the debate, Sneeko says that he is okay with people that are aged 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 marrying adults that are 18 or older.
There are talking globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for, and I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore, anyone, do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved? Why should we get the government involved?
Even get back a little bit. Do you think there's not a problem with a...
Predation. Okay?
That really is straight up like some predatory behavior right there. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Difference between, like, gay people, adults, having a consensual relationship, which hurts no one, versus, like, an adult having sex with a child, which is pedophilia because the child can't consent. A child can't consent. Therefore, the adult in that situation is taking advantage of a child not having all their mental faculties in order. Why is this a conversation that we're having? It is very harmful for the child's development, okay? That's why we have laws around this sort of thing. Age of consent laws. Very, very weird. Very weird. Doesn't make sense.
The whole idea that, like, even, like, the human brain doesn't completely develop until, like, you're around 25 and shit. Like, this whole, like, it's just so fucking weird in the idea of, like, well, the human form, completely develops and stuff, before it's you. So, it's like, no the fuck it doesn't, you weird, unhinged freaks. And the fact that it's even, like, I guess, like, even an debatable conversation is just insane to me. Like, what? In anyone's right fucking mind would this be an okay thing to, like, argue for or argue about? It's just ridiculous. It's absurd. It's insane. There's no reason for it.
Does not change that reality. It is still predation. You're being a predator. I did not actually think that the libertarian attitude towards age of consent laws and child marriages, which is not so subtle defenses, not so subtle defenses of pedophilia, would be actively had, like debates surrounding pedophilia would be actively had in 2024, the year of our holy Lord. I did not think,
inshallah,
that this was where the right would go so openly. What happened to shame? What happened to decency? This is so gross.
Child being with an adult?
Okay. We haven't even agreed upon what a child and an adult is. You keep saying that it's 18.
Under 18.
That's
child.
And I'm telling you, that's not even the definition of the word.
What is it?
Yes, it is. Maybe for certain countries, like, that might slightly differ because of, like, the age of consent being, like, what legally is a child is, like, 15, 16, 17, etc. But in most, like, contemporary, broader, normal circumstances, in global culture, societally and shit, it's 18. And I guess with Romeo and Juliet laws considered, maybe, like, 17, if the person dating them is, like, literally younger than 20. Like 19 or something. Like, because anything beyond that is fucking wild, insane fucking shit to be fucking even remotely considering as, like, a thing to put forth as an argument. Or even consideration. Or anything. Because, like I said, like, the whole Romeo and Juliet law thing, I think could be okay. But there's strong lines in the sand about stuff like that. Like someone being 17 and, or 19, dating or whatever. As long as there's parental consent about those two dating each other, then all's good. But, like, when it comes down to fucking, like some 33-year-old dating a 17-year-old, like, there's no justification for that. I could give a fuck who you are. I could give a fuck what you think. That's insane. Wild shit.
It wants to be a number, or else you can do the same thing.
I just told you there's not a number.
There is. And go fuck yourself if you think otherwise, you weird freaking fucking bastard.
Problem? No. If there's no defined... So why can't a 12-year-old marry an 18-year-old?
Because most 12-year-olds haven't gone through puberty yet. And most 12-year-olds...
as you just said, it changes. What if a 12-year-old went through puberty early, the parents consent, the 18-year-old and the parents consent? Can they do it?
Most likely that's not going to happen. You know why? Because Islamically, if
we're not talking most likely, just say it.
If the families have consented...
What do you mean Islamically, bro? What are you saying? Dude?
Nothing. Because he's a clout-chasing little bastard and a weasel fuck. Is this where a lot of this whole, like, most crucible got canceled shit came from? Is this shit right here? It's him having his little debate bro moment, and also, I guess, retiring, even though he never did. I guess, like, a lot of shit happened at once for Moist Critical, and now, like, he is having to deal with a bunch of bullshit, so he just made a whole video talking about it. And this includes, talking with Sneeko being a weird pedophilic fuck. So, I mean, honestly, honestly, there really isn't much, going on from Weiss. I mean, Critical's okay. I'll grant, I think this whole, like, humility or, like, olive branch, to Sneeko was stupid. But, whatever, man. I think, he did what he had to do, and, and maybe he really was kind of ignorant about it. But that's okay. I mean, he wasn't going in there nefariously trying to, like, undermine anything or whatever. He was just trying to be, like, a good little sweet boy and be honest with his own self and stuff. Like, I get it, but... I mean, you have to recognize when someone's being a dishonest little fucking rat and just, like, call a spade for what it is, And Sneeko's that. He's a fucking rat. And you need to call a spade, when it comes to a motherfucker like that. It's one thing when you have the average Joe, maybe making that argument not knowing better because they're a fucking idiot. But when it comes to someone like Sneeko, you don't give him that credence. At all. Aww. That sleepy little boy, he's so cute. Snapping over there. But anyway, I'm just gonna get myself some food and all that fun stuff. All that gushy shit. So, let's go for now. So, peace out. I'll see you on the next one. So,